on a 9th best ERA. It's the Indians in town for 3. Coming up next on Master. On Masset, and Birdland is where they are. After a successful road trip, the Orioles come home to open up a 3-game set to begin this homestand against the Cleveland Indians. They have beaten the Indians 2 out of 3 so far this year. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. Orioles mighty happy to be back home, but of late it hasn't mattered whether they've been on the road or here at Camden Yards. They're just playing their best baseball of the season, and there's nobody better over the last 20 games. Here are the numbers that prove that to be true. For the Orioles, the best record in the last 20, 15-5, hitting at a .290 clip over that span. They've had 29 home runs in those 20 ball games. They're averaging almost 6 runs a game, and the team ERA is at 3.22, with the bullpen being even lower than that. Those are the kind of numbers that put you where they are, and that's in a run for first place, Jim Palmer, in the American League East.
Yeah, and we're trending back to where they were last year. They win 96 games. Obviously, they go all the way to the championship division. They were about 107 runs more than they gave up. They were led the league in home runs. They were one of the best defensive clubs. Starting pitching after the month of June was fabulous. Bullpen with Andrew Miller, even without him, was really good. And now we're seeing all those things. They get Hardy back. It's kind of like making a trade when you get Wieters. He's played in 11 games. They're 10-1. So all of a sudden, they're doing a lot of things like they did last year, and we know that really worked. And
they're going up against a Cleveland team that has not performed very well. In fact, the turning point for both Cleveland and the Orioles ended up being the series they played in Cleveland. After that, the Orioles took off, and the Indians headed south.
Yeah, when the Orioles went there, talking about the Indians, were about 1 game from getting to 500. They had a miserable 7-14 April. Kluber's pitching tonight. He's 3-9. He won the Cy Young last year. You go, geez, what's wrong with him? Well, they don't score runs for him. But the one thing, and I think the Orioles are very aware of this, Cleveland is 18-15 on the road. They don't score a lot of runs, but they score more than they give up, and that's the key to winning baseball.
And Cleveland's pitching on the road has been a whole lot better than what it's been back in Cleveland. So the Orioles tonight will see a ball club that, while not doing very well overall, pretty good on the road. And for the Indians, they're going to face Wei-Yin Chen, a left-hander. He's back after all that went on after being sent down and had a start.
Well, we talked about Kluber. What they have in common, they both can pitch. Kluber wins the Cy Young last year, wins 18 games. Wei-Yin wins 16. This year, both of them are pitching better. Actually, Wei-Yin's ERA is about a half a run lower than Kluber's, but what they have in common, when their teams play, neither of them score very many runs for each other. Kluber's around 2, Chen's a little bit, about 3.5 runs a game. So again, maybe there won't be a lot of runs scored here at Camden Yards tonight.
All right, let's see what goes on. Great to have you with us on this Friday night. Baseball is coming up next, the Indians and the Orioles, when we return to Camden Yards. Orioles baseball on MASN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Ocean City, Maryland. Put your vacation days to good use at Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at ococean.com. Little rain during batting practice, very little, cloudy. Now it's cleared up a good deal. Our BGE home game time temperature is at 77 degrees, humidity up to 67%. BGE Home is Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? Let's take a look at the starting lineup. The Indians have Kipnis, the league's leading hitter, LINDOR, Brantley, RABURN, SANTANA. Jan Gnomes will be doing the catching. Moss, URSHELA, and AVILES for Jason Kipnis. What a season so far.
So somehow try to keep him off base. Wei and Chen there. You had a lot of fastballs, breaking ball, curveball, slider against Philadelphia. His last start, only 4 hits, and boy, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts, had them all going. Change up probably a few more percentage points than last year. So again, the record, this will be his 14 starts. You can see right there a very low ERA, about a half a run lower than last year when he won 16, lost 6. And again, doesn't walk a whole lot of guys. Right-handers hit him pretty well in the sense that he's given up, what, 11 home runs, 10 by right-handed batters. Lefty's only 222 with 1. So when he pitches well, and he's won 2 in a row. It's actually coming off where he's, I mean, you look at his last 6 starts, Gary, he's been real good.
Very good with the wins against Philly and Boston in the last 2. He pitched 8 innings in the last ball game. Orioles would really like to see him go deep. The Orioles starters have not gone particularly deep of late, even though the Orioles have been winning. So the bullpen's had to do a lot of work, and they'd like to quiet that down like Showalter would if they could do that in the ball game tonight. To get Wei and Chen back on the roster after being sent down, T.J. McFarland yet one more time has gone back to Norfolk. God love him for the patience and durability. I mean, you talk about ups and downs, and always ready to go in either place. So T.J. down for the moment.
Yeah, he comes in yesterday in the 6th, and then the pitch is the 7th, and see you later. But he gives him some outs yesterday. The Orioles do win that game 8-6 in Boston, win 2 out of 3 there, and they like winning series, and it'd be nice to win game number 1 here.
And here is Kipnis. If there's one in the lineup, you got to shut down, not let him beat you. Here he is, right at the top of the order. A 19-game hit streak. First in hits, first in average, top 5 in runs, and he will take the pitch for a strike. He has gone 1 for 6 in his career against Wei and Chen. Kipnis with the infield pretty much straight away on him, over the top on that one. He's not the same against lefties as righties. He's 288, which is a very fine average, obviously, against left-handers, but he's 401 off right-handers. 1-2 delivery at Chen outside.
What we saw in Cleveland is that, you know, he was kind of joking. He said, boy, it's tough to go 1 for 3 every night, hit 333. Well, he's gone up 20 points since then. But he drove the ball to left center. And a lot of doubles up the gap.
Ground ball, that's to short. Hardy is there, not hit very hard. Makes the strong throw, and Kipnis is retired. Take a look at our Who's Hot, Who's Not. Celebrate the season with the American Standard All-Star event. Visit MidAtlanticComfort.com for amazing rebate and financing opportunities.
Yeah, all you got to do is look on the left. Manny Machado is hot as pretty much anybody other than maybe Jason Kipnis or Miggy Cabrera from the Tigers. And LINDOR finally, well, you know, #1 draft choice out of Puerto Rico, raised in New York, finally gets to the big leagues.
LINDOR putting on a show for them. Pitch will be taken on the outside corner. LINDOR doing the work at shortstop for Terry Francona's Cleveland Indians, who are 33-38. 0-1 delivery, and another chopper cut off Manny Machado. Plenty of time.
Now take a look at the defense, and we've already seen a couple of ground balls to the left side of the infield, so we'll start there. Machado, the platinum glove. Hardy, 3 straight gold gloves. Flaherty, PARMELEE played great yesterday. During the Boston series, also showed he can play the outfield. Caleb Joseph doing the catching. Snyder, Lough, and Davis. Chris Davis. There we go.
Right field.
In right field. But, you know, he worked on it in spring training. Played third base.
We know he can pitch. We just left Boston. Got a win there, 3 years ago.
It's his first start in right field this year. And there's a base hit up the middle. So Brantley, he's been hot off Chen. That's 4 hits and 9 at bats against Wei and Chen. And Cleveland will get the first base hit of the ball game. Chris Davis for the ball game. He's down around the batting cage and he's breathing heavily. He says, man, I don't know how I'm going to be able to get back and forth right field to the dugout. Because he's usually at first base.
Well, that's why I played first base in Little League.
And a nice easy trip from first.
Either way, I mean, if you're on the road, sometimes you just have to go across the infield.
Exactly.
Here, for him, he just leans left and he's sitting.
We said we'd send a cart. Taken for a strike. Here's Ryan Raburn. Raburn, the cleanup batter, is the designated hitter. Very solid numbers with that big average he's put up. He is 1 for 6 with a home run off Wei and Chen.
Yeah,
Chen's got 2 down.
He can hit lefties and he can hit for power. He's healthy. Some wrist problems. It's not that you can't get him out, obviously. You know, if you're hitting 295, that means every 100 times up you're making over 80 outs, or actually 70 some outs, I guess. But if you make a mistake, and we've seen him here, he's got home run power. And when he came up with the Tigers before he hurt the wrist, you know, 16, 17, 18 as a platoon player. That's a pretty good number.
0-2 delivery by Chen inside on the fist, fouled away by Raburn.
Yeah, Ryan was saying today, he said, listen, you know, I play against lefties. Murphy plays against, you know, the right-handed pitchers. So David is doing a nice job. So they got a nice platoon going.
For Raburn against left-handers, he is .315 this season against them. You look at Murphy, he's only had 7 at-bats against left-handers, 2 for 7. 0-2 count on Raburn. Runner at first base. Slow chopper down to third. If it's fair, it's a hit. Manny Machado bounces one over there. Oh, he got him! Oh, mercy! Manny Machado, Raburn not fleet a foot, but thought he would beat that one out. Manny bounced one over there in a hop, picked up by Parmelee, and records a big out early in the ball game. 1, 2, and in the glove for the out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Let's take a look at the O's starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. It'll be Machado, Snyder, and Paredes, Davis, Parmelee, and Hardy, Flaherty, Joseph, and Lowe. Jimmy Paredes, 4-5-5, still the best with runners in scoring position.
And Corey Kluber, boy, he really pitched well last year against the Orioles. They gave up 1 run in 14 in the 3rd innings. So fastballs and breaking balls, that's curveball, slider, changeup, not that many. Hard thrower, strikeout guy. You know, again, 18-game winner last year, did win the American League Cy Young Award. And he went 9-3 over his last 12 decisions with a 2.10 ERA. Now he's pitching a lot better than his record, but not pitching quite as well. Look at the lefties, they're a little bit better, 289 against Kluber, but he's got a power arm.
Manny Machado leads it off. Manny back with another hit streak as he's now hit in 7 ball games in a row. He ended one streak and started another. 452 is his average over the 7-game streak. Ground ball to third. That's fair. URSHELA makes the play, and one down on a couple of pitches.
Yeah, again, the sinking fastball that you'll see a lot of these guys, especially in the infield. AVILES, Bromley, and Moss. That's your outfielder. URSHELA out of Columbia. He comes up. That was Chisenhall the last time we played the Indians. LINDOR, Kipnis, Santana, who was second in the league in walks, and then Yan Gomes doing the catching.
And with one away, Snyder's moved into the number 2 spot. He's got a 4-game hit streak coming into the ball game. So he bats second in this one. Yet another shuffle in the lineup. And the pitch will be taken for a strike. 7 for 14 over the last 4 games during that streak. He's been a .340 hitter lifetime against the Cleveland Indians in 15 ball games. 0-1 pitch on the way. And we all know Buck Showalter looks at those numbers. How do you do against the pitcher? How do you do against the opposing team? How do you do in the ballpark you're playing in?
Yeah, looks at all those things. Got to be on your toes against this guy. Great running 2-seam fastball.
Snyder fouls it up.
And that's the hard slider cutter. Yeah, you look at 3 and 9 and you go, okay, how's that happen? You don't pitch quite as well. They don't play as well. Now this is a 16th start. They have gotten, while he's in the game, 2 or less runs in 12 of the 15.
Lowest run support in baseball.
That's like, I told him, I said, you got to get in the interleague game. He says, I keep missing him.
0-2 delivery on the way, and that'll cut inside.
And he said, I can't even hit.
Yeah, well.
But he said, I take my chances. Yeah, it's just been one of those years. But the stuff is good. He's healthy. And again, you go back and look at winning 9 of his last 12 decisions, giving up a little over 2 runs a game. So certainly capable of getting back on track.
1-2 delivery to Snyder. Started to go, held off. It'll bounce off the bottom of the plate. Last year, not as many hits. He's given up the 8th most hits in the American League at 97. He is 3rd in strikeouts in the league, and he's pitched the 4th most innings. So by the time he gets done with this game, he'll probably be the leader in innings pitched in the American League. 2-2 delivered to Snyder, and that one is going to miss down low as well, skimming the plate. 3-2.
Now you look at, if we looked at Chris Tillman, his walks are up a little bit, strikeouts down. His batting average a touch, but the command, the strikeouts are pretty much the same, the walks the same, and again coming off a Cy Young year.
Delivery on the 3-2, and that one is going to be foul back.
Yeah, that's your pitch to hit if you're Travis Snyder. 3-2, doesn't want to walk anybody. You look on deck. You probably doesn't know a whole lot about Jimmy Paredes. Did see him play, didn't pitch against him, but saw Jimmy swing the bat in Cleveland. So he gets a pretty hittable pitch, but when you got good stuff, sometimes you foul those pitches off.
8th pitch coming in the at bat. Counted 3-2. Snyder gets an up straight D against him, and he'll foul the ball back again. So a good at bat here for Snyder to fight off some pitches and force Kluber to have to throw a few here. He has that 1-1 record Jim was talking about, and that is his record against the Orioles here at Camden Yards. This is his 3rd career start here, his first this season. ERA of 4.6 here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. 3-2 delivery, and that's down to 3rd, and that's foul. Snyder's really fighting him off, and already Buck Showalter has pushed one right button. If Snyder does nothing else, he has lengthened the inning and forced Kluber to throw a lot of pitches.
Well, I think when you looked at Travis Snyder coming over from the Pirates, that you thought maybe he'd hit a few more home runs, at the monstrous home run up in Philadelphia, but he has used the whole field, and he does make you work, and he'll spray it all over the place.
3-2 delivery on the way, and he's gone. He thought he had a walk on that. Kluber, though, will get the strikeout.
Yeah, you're always trying to figure out what Brian Knight's strike zone is, and I think we find out right here. And anytime a catcher moves the glove, watch Gomes drag. I mean, not even drag it. He just kind of brings it back into the zone. That ball probably an inch or so, maybe half a width of baseball off the corner.
So there are 2 down, and that'll bring up Jimmy Paredes. Paredes, the Orioles DH. He too's got a hit streak of 4 games. He's 8 for 17 during his hit streak. He has picked up a home run, scored 3, and driven in 4 during the 4 games where he's hit successfully. Orioles have a lot of streaks in their lineup coming into this ball game. 1-0 delivery on the way. He got that one to right field. It'll send Moss back. Warning track. It'll bounce up and into the seats. It'll be 2. So Paredes gets the Orioles' first hit, a double.
Yeah, you're hitting off 92, 93 if you're hitting off of Corey Kluber. And this is a cut fastball. Either that or a hanging slider, so it speeds the bat up, and he just doesn't miss it. It's kind of cutting in, but it doesn't get in, because the one thing Jimmy Paredes has showed us, boy, he can get the bat head to the ball with the best of them, especially from this side of the plate. And then Brandon Moss can't get to it before it bounces into the stands.
So Orioles will get the chance to get on the board first. Chris Davis. Davis has a 5-game hit streak, 7 for his last 17 during those 5 games. He's hitting .266 with runners in scoring position. Cleveland puts the shift on against him. 2 down and a towering pop-up at the plate. Yan Gomes coming over and just out of his reach, and down he goes into the dugout.
Yeah, the ball actually goes away from, if he gets a little bit more to his right, and that's easy to talk about up here. See, if he goes to the right, he's probably going to catch this ball, but you don't know, because the fence ends, you don't know where you're going to dive into the dugout, and the ball just really, what, maybe a foot, 10 inches out of his. Terry Francona, he says, I'm not taking one for the club, I'm just going to manage.
Well, his catcher's falling into the dugout.
Yeah, he goes, well, he's got the equipment on. Good luck.
0-1 count. No wind here at the ballpark to start the ball game. 0-1 count. Runner off second base. There's a slider moving in, and the count will go to 0-2 on Chris Davis. Chris against Kluber's got a 1 for 8 against him, with the 5 strikeouts in those 8 at bats. Orioles trying to get on the board first here against the Indians. Start their offense in the first inning. Pretty good lead at second. Paredes' pitch will be taken away, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. Chris has played good baseball, especially here at home. This is where he has put up his best numbers, here in his home yard. He is tied for 3rd in home runs and 3rd in runs here. 1-ball 2-strike count. They let Paredes wander way off with the lead, and fouled off again. Well, the Orioles have really made Kluber work here. 18 pitches thrown through the first 4 batters.
Yeah, and again, just imagine, you come off, you win the Cy Young Award. I don't think, he doesn't seem the kind of guy who would take that for granted. Comes out, he pitches well, they don't score. He knows how important it is to try to get Chris Davis out here. He just doesn't get a lot of runs to work with, so he knows that 1 run. But the last 2 games they haven't even scored for him.
Yep. 1-2 count, outfield deep. Davis will pop another one up. This one should be playable. URSHELA goes back, and he's got it. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a base runner left on 1. Completed the opener of this homestand. No score. The Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Really nice summer evening here. Orioles hope it'll stay that way. A lot of rain in the forecast for tomorrow and a little on Sunday maybe. We'll see what happens. Chris Tillman and Cody Anderson going game 2. Ubaldo Jimenez and Trevor Bauer in game 3. No score here as we go to the second inning. Santana, second in walks, will lead it off against Chen, who has issued 19 walks in 81 innings pitched. Carlos Santana, on base percentage up there because of the free passes that he picks up. He is 1 for 5 off Chen. And he'll go after the first pitch, foul back.
Yeah, all the home runs, all 8 of them, from the other side of the plate against right-handed pitchers. Not that he can't hit one from this side.
227 right-handed, 211 left. And the pitch will be up high, but as Jim said, obviously the power is on the other side.
Yeah, you know, I was talking to Ty Van Berkeley, his hitting instructor in Cleveland a couple weeks ago, and he said, you know, he figured he's got to work counts. He walks so much, he just overswings.
You can see it right there.
Yeah, and doesn't mean that he's not an easy out to get out, because he's not, because he makes you throw strikes. You would just think. Switch hitter, used to be a catcher, can still catch on occasion. So he kind of knows he can track balls.
He'll take that one inside. Obviously, if he's drawing as many walks as he is, he does see a lot of pitches. Kind of surprising the way he jumped on Chen here in this first at bat. He sees the second most pitches per plate appearance in the American League at 4.3. But he's been swinging on Chen. 2-2 delivery, and that'll be fouled away. Stays at 2-2.
Yeah, and they put the shift on him both ways. In fact, the one game, that was a 7-2 win on that Saturday in Cleveland. He got the big hit down the right field line. And that ball was kind of up and in, hitting from the other side of the plate, and just Nike'd it down into the corner for a double.
2-2, ground ball to third base. Big hop, Manny Machado. We'll record the out. That's already 3 assists down there at third base. Let's take a look at our Jeep inside the numbers, and something's got to give.
Yeah, we talked about Cleveland much better. I mean, these are since May 19th, 18 and 15 collectively on the road. You can see the Orioles play better. They score more runs at home. They actually, since then, have pitched even better. So, again, these are two teams that, when you get them on the road, you get the Orioles at home, are somewhat equal.
Are in their realm.
And it's hard to believe. I always thought Cleveland would be a pretty good hitting park, but when you go in there, they go, oh, you weren't here in April and May when the wind blows.
And cold.
Yep.
Pitch will be taken away for a ball, 1 down. Here is Jean Gomes, who is doing the catching. He is 2 for 8 off Chen, hitting just 146 in a dozen road games that he's played in this year. And that fastball is there for a strike. The Indians are one of only 4 teams in the majors who have a losing record at home and a winning record on the road. Cleveland's 15 and 23 at home. They are 18 and 15 on the road. 1-1 delivery on the way, and he kind of got that one up in the air in a 9-iron. That'll stay up. Snyder there to put it away. 2 down. All of Birdland talking about the special Buck Showalter Garden Gnomes. They'll be given away tomorrow to the first 25,000 fans 15 and over. 7:15 ball game tomorrow night. Don't miss this unique keepsake, sure to become an instant collector's item. Good seats still remain for tomorrow night's game, but they are going fast. Call the Orioles 888-848-BIRD, or you can go to Orioles.com. The Garden Gnome night is almost here. The off-speed breaking ball up high for a ball, and aren't we happy?
Buck even got a haircut for the occasion. He had Don from Shears come over. Comes over to the ballpark. He goes, well, you missed. You could have gotten a haircut. I said, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. I go, where did you get your haircut? About 3 years ago. He goes, down at Shears. This lady comes over. I go, I'm going there.
Going. 1-1 delivery on the way to Moss, and swing and a miss. Boy, did that have bite down and in.
That's that 2-seam fastball. He's made a concentrated effort to throw more change-ups. Yeah, he definitely looked clean, coiffed.
Very.
Showed you, Buck. Yeah. But again, turning it over, a couple of more change-ups. Home run guy right here. strikes out a lot, 76 strikeouts for Brandon Moss. But the Orioles know about him because he's hit a bunch of home runs against them when he played for Oakland.
Moss 1 for 10 against the Orioles this year. And there's one way back in right field. Chris Davis just turned around and goodbye home run. A towering long blast by Brandon Moss and a 1-0 lead for the Indians.
Well, yeah, that's what he does. If you make a mistake, and that was a hanging slider, he is not going to get cheated. And you can see 12 home runs. You saw he hangs in. Actually, the average better against lefties. So now that was his third home run against lefties. Watch this slider. Just see, you try to get on top of it, but sometimes it doesn't quite get there. Joseph down and away. He has to reach across the plate, but he never gets to catch it.
So that'll be the 12th home run surrendered and the 12th home run hit. That'll be only the second by a left-hander, though, against Wei Chen this year. And Moss gets his second career home run against Chen. So the Indians have a 1-0 lead on their second hit of the ball game. Pitch is going to miss, down and away. Urshela, their young third baseman, hits in 4 straight ball games, and he's had a hit in 10 of the last 12. 7 for 16 against left-handers. And that one will be rocketed into the first row outside of first base. A couple of young players you're getting to see with the Indians that we've talked about. LINDOR is playing at shortstop. Moss, who's getting the start, a veteran with a home run, and then Urshela, the third baseman, getting some playing time. Indians taking a look. 1-2 delivery, and Chen will miss up high with it.
Yeah, last year AA, AAA, and that's where he was down in Columbus, and the numbers were good. And one thing that jumps out at you is the on-base percentage. So he doesn't overswing.
Got that one to second base. He got jammed on it. Played by Flaherty. Gets it over to Parmelee. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. Moss, the home run to give the Indians the lead. From Baltimore, 500 for being selected, 500 for every Orioles home run hit in this ball game. Play Baseball Bucks Scratch-Offs win up to $50,000 or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/baseball. LMA, a very pretty traditional name. Yeah. Good luck.
Good luck, Kluber. To give you maybe a little of indication, he has thrown 8 home runs in now 103 innings, so one every 12 and a half innings.
So Adam Jones over there sitting out yet another ball game, as it's now a 7 out of the last 9. He's not played in the field since the 15th of June. And the pitch will be taken for a strike by Parmelee. As far as Jones is concerned, he did throw today. They're going to wait and see what he feels like tomorrow, whether that shoulder hurts or not. If it doesn't, maybe he'd come back as early as tomorrow. Talk about pulling one foul.
Well, yeah, it's either get it between the hands. That was a cutter that was, I think he had to break his bat. Yeah, look at that. And again, it was up on the handle and just a cut fastball. I was talking to Chris Parmelee when they were hitting today, and I said, so have you faced Kluber very much? I hadn't looked at the numbers. He said, oh yeah, you know, playing for the Twins. He's in our division. He said when he came up in 2012, you could tell he was going to be a good pitcher because of the stuff.
He's 1 for 11 against Kluber. 0-2 count. Parmelee waiting on it, and that one is just fouled off at the plate. Chris, of course, has done a great job showing the glove at first base. He is a first baseman by trade in the majors, although he's played lots of other positions. At first base, they had great reports on him there when the Orioles signed him.
Yeah, and when you get to 2 strikes against Corey Kluber, the average is 158. He can get you out so many different ways. It's not comfortable. I mean, there's just a zoom ball. He'll throw you the 2-seamer, which you'll run left to right to a left-handed hitter. He'll cut it in. That was a broken bat. We've already seen against Chris Davis try to hit that outside curve corner with a curveball. Did it back-to-back times. And then occasional changeup. So really about 5 pitches.
1-2 delivery on the way, and he got him on the ball down in the dirt, and that will be strikeout number 2.
Well, there's the hook, and you can do that. You don't have to throw it for a strike. Perfect pitching. Throw it under the zone. When you're pitching well and you're a Cy Young Award winner, you usually do that more times than not.
Kluber's had his ERA go up this year from 2.44 last year to 3.65. That's closer to his career earned run average, which is 3.4. Still very good. Here is Hardy. Hardy's got a 3 for 6 off Kluber. Orioles shortstop. He's been tagging the ball when needed most. That's with runners in scoring position. He's been phenomenal. Pitch will be taken. It'll be up high to him.
Yeah, JJ referred to himself down on the field. I'm a slap hitter. I said, well, you're slapping him in the right places.
Yep.
We've gotten some big hits in the month of June.
1-0 delivery on the way to him, and that pitch will be taken up high. Kluber is trying to avoid the longest losing streak of his career. His record, of course, is 3-9, but as we said, the losses have come of late as he's lost the last 4. And he got one way back left field. You slap hitter, you. Goodbye, home run. J.J. Hardy. Mercy. That'll be number 3.
Wow, he slapped that one, didn't he? We were talking Boston down on the field. I said, you don't get a whole lot of balls inside middle. Because, you know, we're talking about a guy, 30 home runs, 25 home runs, 22. Last year, back problems only 9. But when he gets them, especially here, he doesn't miss them. And that was a very hittable pitch that ties it up.
2 home runs here at Camden Yards, 2 of the 3. 1-1 ball game. 9th surrendered by Kluber and followed by a base hit by Flaherty. Ryan Flaherty didn't wait, and he's now 4 for 9. Lifetime off Kluber. A couple of swings and a couple of hits.
There we go. I mean, high fastball, middle of the plate. Kluber just puts his head down because he knows. So last year in that 14 2/3 innings, 1 run, and he matched that here in the second.
So LMA Osmond, our Maryland lottery contestant. There you go. There's one worth $500. 1 down. Here's Caleb Joseph. Caleb an 0 for 3 off Kluber. Runner at first base. Off speed breaking ball. Orioles tie it up on their 3rd hit, on their 2nd hit of the ball game, and Flaherty comes right back and gets the 3rd, and there's J.J. Hardy, 97 off the bat. Caleb struggles against the Indians. Only 1 hit in 15 at bats. 6 prior games against Cleveland, and he's bunting. And he will foul that one back, bunting for a base hit right there with 1 away.
Yeah, it serves a couple of purposes if you get it down, which obviously he didn't. If you get it down, even if you don't get the base hit, kind of take your chances. You know, David Lowe on deck, get a guy over. Usually don't play for 2 runs early on, but as you mentioned, Kluber can pitch. He struggles against the Indians and prudent play if he gets it down.
So now with an 0-2 count, infield can stay back. Hardy with a homer. Flaherty not a big lead over at first, and that one on the inside will be fouled away. This is where Kluber has had his problems this season. With runners on base, the average jumps way up against him. 295 when somebody's on, 226 if they're empty. So he's not as effective out of the stretch as he is out of the windup, and he's got a very high runner in scoring position number at 286. So with Kluber, you want to have somebody on. Try and get a runner on, and your chances are a whole lot better of getting a hit off him. 0-2 delivery on the way, and Joseph on the off-speed pitch is gone. That'll be strikeout number 3 for Kluber. 2 in the inning.
Yeah, another good breaking ball. You can see just way out in front. Caleb's been a little bit of a struggle over the last 2 weeks as far as seeing the ball. You can usually kind of tell that by chasing pitches, not just with 2 strikes, but to get to 2 strikes.
David Lough hitting ninth, playing in center again for Adam Jones. The 11th start he's had in center field this year. 2 for 6 off the right-hander, and the off-speed pitch will miss up high for a ball. Chris Davis wanting to get some power information from J.J. Hardy. J.J. getting his first home run since May 15 when he had one against the Yankees.
Well, I read lips, and what he said was, you know, I hit a lot more home runs when you play right field. I think that's what he said.
That's what he said. Fouled off at the plate.
It's the first one in the month of June.
Yep.
But my point is, you can be a very productive player. He settled down. We talked about J.J. Hardy. Settled down the whole infield. Everybody playing at a much higher level. And while you love to hit home runs, he's been able to maximize the base hits he's got because they've been clutch ones.
Picking up the RBIs when needed. Orioles 4th, by the way, in home runs in the league. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery with 2 down. That's right there.
Yeah, and that's a very rare changeup, and it fooled David Lough. David got the Orioles rolling up in Boston with that 3-run home run off Joe Kelly. In fact, he got Kelly sent down to AAA Pawtucket.
1-2. Ball game tied at 1. Couple of home runs. Moss and Hardy. And a swing and a miss. 4 strikeouts as he ends up striking the side out, but a run on 2 hits, 1 left on. J.J. Hardy delivering his 3rd long ball of the season. Ball game tied at 1. Jay scoring as you expected him to with that lineup. They have won 16 out of 21, 6.5 runs per game during that stretch. Everyone in the American League East now has a season series lead against Boston. The Red Sox have lost 23 of 34 division games. They play against the Rays tonight. Talk about something's got to give. Alex Colomé, Rays have lost his last 5 starts, and Rick Porcello for Boston, they've lost the last 6, and they're going against each other tonight. They'll probably both be non-decision.
That would probably be a step in the right direction, unless it's 6-6 after and you go about 4 1/3.
Boston's got the early 2-0 lead in the second inning.
They just, they $95 million over 5 years for Porcello. They extended him for 4. Boy, everybody's saying he's a great 2-seam fastball pitcher. Throw it.
Yeah.
Don't try to do more than maybe your contract dictates.
Aviles takes the pitch away, and it's a 1-ball-2-strike count. He's 1 for 14 off Chen. Top of the order, Kipnis and LINDOR will be due up. 253 off left-handers for him. He'll pop that one up first base side. Parmelee over and out of reach.
Yeah, trying to get to the wall and then maybe be able to extend. Aviles is an inside half hitter. Beat the Orioles last year. Hit a game-winning walk-off home run against Brian Mattis, left-handed reliever for the O's. So when you come way in, but it's that inside third of the plate, that's the power zone.
Aviles with a 1-ball-2-strike delivery to him up high. Chen's a lot of positive numbers. He has dropped his ERA to 2.89 from 3.54 last year. Closing in on almost a run differential. That one he didn't get a lot of to left field. Snyder will come in and over and put it away. 1 down, 3rd inning. On Sunday, the first 20,000 fans 15 and over at the Orioles Indians game 135 will get the Orioles cap presented by DAP. Don't miss this annual fan favorite while you enjoy a summer afternoon at the Yard. For tickets, go to Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD.
Big weekend.
Big weekend. Gnome, DAP cap.
DAP cap.
Fireworks tonight after the ball game. Here is Jason Kipnis. Kipnis grounded out his first time up. You can go on with a laundry list about Kipnis and all that he's doing and getting done, because it is a laundry list. That ball is fouled away. Kipnis leading the league, of course, in batting average. His 19-game hit streak is the longest in the majors right now. His consecutive game reaching at 19 is the 3rd longest. 1-1 delivery. And the streak of 19 ties Washington's Wilson Ramos for the longest in the majors this season.
And then when he gets on, he can steal some bases. He's had a couple of years where he's stolen over 30.
Chen working carefully, will miss outside to him. 3-1.
Yeah, the one mistake by Way, and it doesn't happen very often, was just a high slider. So maybe that's a pitch that he doesn't feel real comfortable with. And Moss, a left-handed hitter, hit it out of here for the only run.
3-1 delivery, and that'll go to short. Hardy's got that one, and he's got Kipnis 2 down. 2 ground balls to short by Kipnis. Fans never miss a game update, behind the scenes moment, or exclusive contest. Follow at Masson Orioles on Twitter for all the latest Orioles buzz. Again, that's at Masson Orioles on Twitter.
How's your Twitter account going?
Just ducky. They keep sending me emails saying, please confirm your Twitter account, and I immediately delete them. 2 down. Here's LINDOR. And the pitch taken inside for a ball.
That was succinctly said.
It was. That's just why I keep deleting it. If I wanted a Twitter account, I'd ask for one. Stop bothering me.
Well, biggest thing is you got to tell us how you really feel about Twitter.
Okay, good. The feeling in life you spend more time deleting messages than reading them?
Well, on email and all that, yes.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable how much time you spend.
And then somebody said, I got an email the other day before I deleted it that told me that your cell phone is going to become public knowledge. So therefore you're going to be getting all the calls you get at home if you have a home phone, even though you pay to not have those.
Yes.
What do we call those? The whatever they are.
Sales calls.
Yeah, sales calls. Now you get it on your cell phone.
Ground ball up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. So LINDOR is on. Hard hit ball over the mound. It comes with 2 down here in the 3rd inning for the 21-year-old.
Yeah, this is really what they said about LINDOR. Again, a high draft choice, #1 draft choice. right back up the middle. Doesn't overswing. Switch hitter. Can steal some, run some bases, so not trying to do too much, and that's a good way to hit in the big leagues. And then as you get more at bats, maybe you look for pitches in certain counts. That's the way Michael Brantley has done it.
Brantley had a base hit his first time up. Big lead at first base. Lindor challenging Chen, and that almost got him. Bell tie and a 1-0 count. For the Indians this season, as far as the runnings game concerned, they've stolen 36, been caught 13 times, so not up there in any great numbers as far as running's concerned.
And they don't run on Chen. 3 attempts.
1-0 delivery on the way, and a breaking ball. This time it will catch the inside corner. 1-1.
Yeah, I was talking to Michael Brantley, and when we were in Cleveland, they had said maybe to start a little bit slower. He was over 300. He's at 293 coming in, and that number went up with a hit. He had some back problems, and I ran into him today, and I said, how'd that happen? He said, just lifting weights. But he's coming off about as complete a year as you can have as an outfielder for last year.
And that'll be foul back. Got one that was breaking in towards the middle that time on Brantley, but he couldn't catch up to it.
I mean, when you hit 327 and you hit 20 home runs, almost drove in 100. When he stole a base, 23 out of 24. And then he went the whole year. I mean, he's gone 447 games without only 1 error. The whole season without an error in the outfield. Pretty special year.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Lindor with a big lead. And the fastball is going to be up and in. Brantley has got the most RBIs against the left-hander of anyone in the American League, so he's made his hits count against the lefties this season. That's why he's in there against left-handers. Brantley's got a .306 average against southpaws, .282 off righties. 2-2 delivery on the way, and that one he'll foul back, keep it alive.
Yeah, when you throw a breaking ball and you hang it, that's the ball that he can really pull. And then if you get behind him, he'll look for pitches. We talked about as you get experience. He comes in now with what, about almost 2,700 at bats in the American League. And he was one of those guys, and you always talk about if you're going to trade somebody. They traded the Sabathia to Milwaukee, came over in that trade. And boys, it paid off for the Indians.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Pitch on the way, and he held up. And the count will go to 3-2. This Cleveland team draws more walks than any other club in baseball, so you gotta throw strikes. They don't do a lot of chasing. That's why they get a great on base percentage. Their problem, they can't hit with runners in scoring position. 3 ball, 2 strike count. Runner will go with 2 down. Lindor off first, takes off. It won't matter. Chen gets the strikeout. That'll be his first of the ball game. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Chen finishes the job himself. Ball game tied at 1. And is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Big crowd on hand, fireworks night. Beautiful night to be at the ballpark on this Friday. Gary Thorne and Jim Palmer, and great to have you with us. Ball game tied at 1. School is out, everybody gonna rock in school. School's out, a lot of kids at the ballpark now. 1-1, 1 run and 3 hits, 2 left for each team. Here's Manny Machado. Machado grounded out his first time up. Manny now with the 1 for 4 off Kluber. And he'll take that first pitch, a breaking ball for a strike.
Yeah, URSHELA playing pretty much even with the bag just at third in case he does think about bunt. But the first time up had a good swing, but the 2-seamer just hit one right at the third baseman.
0-1 delivery and fooled him. Manny is taken to that leadoff spot like Ty Cobb to Tiger Stadium. He's hitting .317. It's been 50 games now in the leadoff spot. .317 batting average.
With power.
With power. Yep. 0-2 delivery on the way to him. Trying to get him to chase.
If you watch film, and now of course you can just dial up if you're Corey Kluber all of Manny's at bats 2015 or over the last month, you'll see up and in, up and away. The way to get him out is breaking balls. You got to be down in the zone.
Manny will go after that one, and he gets it.
So I could tell anybody that, but can you go out and do it? And right there, he just got pitched to, and that's a tough pitch to hit. And this is why Kluber is Kluber. I mean, that's just a perfect breaking ball, and Holmes puts down the sign, and then he executes.
And that'll be strikeout number 5. As we said, Kluber coming in third in the league in strikeouts. He's now up to 122 strikeouts in 106 innings pitched. Travis Snyder took him a long way deep into the count first time up, but Kluber won the battle with a called third strike. He'll go after the first one here, a fastball. Orioles come in, finishing up that 5-3 road trip. It was a good one for them. They've improved their road record to 16-21. Here at home, they're 22-13. 0-1 pitch on the way to him. Snyder will take that one, and that also there for a strike.
Yeah, he got on one of these rolls. It started against St. Louis at home. He pitched a 1-hitter for 8 innings, struck out 18, didn't walk anybody. Then 12 strikes out, 7, and then 13. 4 consecutive games.
Talked about the lack of run support. It's a bit ironic because that has not been a problem in Kluber's career until this year. He'd had run support of 4.1, 6.7, 4.5. Decent. That'll get you runs enough to win, but not this year. And he got him. Got him looking again.
Well, he can pitch to both sides of the plate, and that's the curveball. And it's a good one. They obviously don't pick it up. And just pull it so you give up. Right there, you're thinking it's going to be outside. Well, no. Backdoor hook. Got a great feel for that pitch.
1 walk, 6 strikeouts for Kluber. And there are 2 down here in the 3rd inning. He's not had a 1-2-3 inning yet. Jimmy Paredes will try and prevent that here. Paredes now with a 5-game hit streak. He picked up a double and was left stranded at second base. Chris Davis infield shift is on against Paredes here. Completely moved around. Last 11 ball games hitting .360. As Paredes had just a very short little trough for about 5 games and then picked it up again. 0-1 delivery on the way and just missed outside.
Well, he got a case of swingitis, and that's where you swing at everything. And it can become an epidemic when you're hitting .390. You think you can hit everything, and you swing at everything, and the league knows, and they don't throw you a strike, and pretty soon you're down at .295. You're not playing as much. And then you listen to your hitting instructor, and he says, hey, get a strike to hit.
Adjust. Right?
One of those. Game of adjustment. Yep. Life is a game of adjustment.
Hey, 9 for his last 18 at the plate. 1-2 delivery on the way, and he strikes out the side. It's twice he's done that, although he gave up a run in the second doing it. So he's got 7 strikeouts. here in the opener through 3 as the ball game's tied at 1. Moss the home run for Cleveland. Hardy for the Orioles. Wei and Chen. And the off-speed breaking ball will be in there for a strike. Ryan Raburn grounded out first time up. Thought we'd track Chen a little bit in the ball game, see if what happens tonight tracks what has happened to him on the season, and it's been good. Leadoff batters have been a problem for him. Leading off an inning, hitters at .299 tonight. They have had 1 hit. They also pick up hits when he falls behind 1-0, and 2 hits tonight. 2 of the 3 have come when he's had a start with a 1-0 pitch. So far, what's held up on the year is holding up here in this ball game. Wei and Chen with a 1-ball 2-strike count.
And this is Wayne's 4th year with the Orioles, 4th year in the American League, and handwriting's on the wall. Kluber seems to have got into a groove. So pitch well. And how do you do that? And all the little things you talked about, if you get behind people, we've seen him do it, did it against the Phillies. Not a great hitting team, but certainly capable. There's a good swing. So you read the bat right there. You get the first guy out. You stay away from the big inning. If you give up a run, and that was the home run to Moss, that's it. He's a very focused pitcher. That's what I've seen. Dave Wallace with the clicker.
Playing catch. Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way, and a breaking ball tagged to left field way back, and goodbye. Home run. Raburn, a line drive that just had enough on it to reach the seats. And maybe it's a home run derby tonight. For Raburn, that will be his 4th and his 19th RBI.
Well, I told him I get nervous when I see him hit against lefties, and because this is what he does. And this is now 2 home runs, and they're both on sliders. And it's very much like the ball Hardy hit off Rodriguez. Late on the fastball, right on the slider. And you got to give him credit. Goes down and get it, but it's too good a pitch with 2 strikes, and he takes advantage of it.
Santana, and he will take the pitch for a strike. So Moss and Raburn pick up the home runs for the Indians. Chen has not given up more than 2 home runs in a ball game this year. He gave up 2 against the Yankees in his 2nd start, and gave up 2 against Tampa Bay 5 games ago.
Yeah, solos don't usually beat you unless the other guy pitches better, because they're just singular runs.
That'll go to center field. Lowe started back, had to come in. He's got it. Santana's retired. 1 away here in the 4th inning. Celebrate summer at Oriole Park by picking up the 2015 Birdland Summer 6-pack. Choose any 6 remaining games throughout the season. Savings up to 20% off the cost of single game tickets. And you can pick the plan you want. Great rivalry games, promotions like bobblehead dates, t-shirt nights, firework nights. Info, Orioles.com/6-pack. Yan Gomes. Infield will shift around on him, playing him to pull. Gomes played for the first time Saturday after he'd missed some games with a stiff neck that had bothered him for more than a week. Getting back into the lineup over the past weekend.
Yeah, and then he missed pretty much the first 5 weeks of the season. Very much like Brantley, coming off a very, very good year. Got to catch regularly all last year. Hit 21 home runs. Hit almost 280. Drove in a lot of runs.
Gomes flied out his first time up against Chen. 60% fly ball pitcher for the Orioles. 0-2, 1 away. 4 hits now for the Indians, and the fastball will miss up high. 65 pitches thrown so far.
Yeah, he's at about 15.5. That's the average pitch per inning. Kluber's at 14.9, same as last year, 14.9.
1-2, and he got him to go upstairs. Took the ladder. 2 Ks.
Well, he can do that, and that's where he gets a lot of the fly balls. And if you get out of the strike zone by getting ahead, those are the balls that aren't usually hit very hard, popped up, or in this case, swung through.
So that will bring Moss up, his 12th home run in the 2nd inning. Moss coming over from Oakland in December to provide power, and that's what he's doing. Fouled off, and that one got a piece of Caleb Joseph. 2 home runs off Chen in the ball game. 13 on the year. Given up the home run in this inning to RABURN, the DH, right-handed batter, and Moss, the left-hander.
Yeah, we first saw Brandon Moss with the Red Sox back in 2007, and then finally ended up with Oakland, 21, 30, 25 home runs, and then he became arbitration eligible, and he was traded.
And up the middle, base hit against the shift. So Moss is 2 for 2 in the ball game. He came in just 1 for 10 in the 3 games in Cleveland against the Orioles. 2 for 2 to start this series. Puts a runner on with 2 down. URSHELA coming to the plate. URSHELA, the third baseman, grounded out his first time up. Indians now out hitting the Orioles 5-3 in the ball game. Wei-Yin Chen, short lead at first. His delivery up high almost got away. Chen came in with the 9th best ERA in the league at 2.89. Ball club is 8-5 in the 13 starts he's made, even though he's 3-4. 1-0 delivery, and that one goes out to left field for a base hit in front of Snyder.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to rethink that slider tonight. 2 home runs right there, speeds up the bat. Not that you don't throw other pitches, but he's got a changeup. That's what decisions you have to make. Here's another slider, and what's happening is they're finding the middle of the plate. Home run to Moss, home run to RABURN, and then right here, very hittable pitch. You jammed him the last time, so you know maybe a little late on your fastball, but then you figure you'll speed up the bat right on the slider. Maybe that's the conference they have.
Yeah.
He's got a curveball, and that's one of the I did not broadcast the game that he pitched against Philadelphia. Mike Bordick here along with you, Gary, but his curveball, that's the pitch he used so well that night. A little bit slower than the slider.
Mike AVILES now, runners at first and second. First chance tonight with the runner in scoring position. He's hitting only .222 in these situations. Takes a strike. This is where Cleveland, as we said, they've struggled. They're 13th in the league with a .227 team batting average. As a result, a lot of people get left on base for Terry Francona's ball club.
And you know that's going to change. It's just such an incredibly low number.
May not happen against Chen. Wei-Yin Chen is putting up some record-breaking numbers with runners in scoring position. You take a look. Wei-Yin Chen right now, the average against him is .102. These are the lowest opponent batting averages against ever. And the best is Martinez at .133. And well below that right now is Wei-Yin Chen. Then Steve Traxel, Buzz Capra, Roger Clemens on that list. 0-2. And that one to the hole. That's where they were playing him force at second. Getting over there in a hurry is Harder. AVILES hits into the fielder's choice. A run in, 3 hits, home run RABURN. 2 left on.
Brandon Moss, this is why they got him, to hit the home run, leave him with a 1-0 lead, and then all of a sudden the June gloom as far as home runs. First home run for J.J. Hardy in the month of June, 1-1, and then the slider, Rayburn hits it down the left field line, on the line, and the Indians lead it 2-1. Those are your Geico game highlights. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
2-1 ball game with the Indians on top. Bottom half of the fourth inning. Chris Davis popped out his first time up. Corey Kluber with a walk, 7 strikeouts. Wei-Yin Chen, no walks, 2 Ks. And Davis will take it for a strike. Jonathan Scope is ready to come back. It's just a question of when the Orioles want to make the roster move. He played tonight and is done in yet another game. Played at Bowie tonight. He went 0 for 3. They pulled him in the 6th inning. That'll go all the way to the backstop. Jonathan was here with the ball club today, working out earlier. Max Showalter was out there making sure as to how he felt, what was going on, making sure he can cut the bases. Everything looks good. He's playing well.
Yeah, strained ligament in the knee, and Brady Anderson was talking about how he made a play yesterday that you know, a kind of a swivel turn play that second basemen have to make. No problems at all. So he's ready.
He's ready. It's just the age-old Orioles problem of now what do we do with the roster, and that's what they're kind of waiting on here. And Adam Jones could go on the DL if he comes back tomorrow and it hurts. He could be on the DL tomorrow.
Well, that's the easy answer as far as roster problems.
Yeah, but they want Adam to play if he can,
because he would backdate it. How many days? 5 days.
5 days. Yep.
So that means 15-day disabled list. That's another 10.
Yep.
Immediate problem is Kluber struck out the last 5 Orioles.
He's got 7 in the ball game. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Pitch to Davis and a foul ball. Chris with the 5-game hit streak that he's looking to continue. We were talking about, I looked at the first baseman around the American League who've had 200 or more at bats. Chris, of course, has played more than one position, but he's had more than 200 ABs as a first baseman. He's 8th in average, but he's 3rd in RBIs. Tied for 3rd in home runs and 3rd in runs as a first baseman. So he is the new kind of numbers guy in baseball. While the strikeouts are up there, he's been 2nd or 3rd in the American League in Ks. Along with those strikeouts has come some real good production. This will be the 7th pitch of this at bat. Corey Kluber, 54 thrown. 3-2 and a massive pop-up. Go out into right center field. And it'll be handled by Brantley for the out.
Yeah, that's down in the danger zone territory. You could see how quick the bat got. A low fastball down and in. And Chris just missed hitting a home run.
Chris Parmelee, strikeout victim, his first time up. Parmelee hitting the right-hander since joining the Orioles at a .333 clip coming into the ball game. Now a 1 for 12 though off this right-hander. Kluber, delivery. Parmelee belts it down the line. It is foul off the garage door.
Boy, what a pleasure it has been to watch Chris Parmelee. We saw him a couple of years ago, and the Twins opened here. Got off to a good start. The league adjusted. He didn't. Up and down. Same thing last year. But they let him play a lot in spring training. Well, you can learn a lot. I know it's only spring training, but you can just see the instincts and the ability, as he's shown, to play the outfield, and you can pick it over at first. Seems like a pretty aware baseball player. And of course, when you come out of the Twins organization, even though they've had some lean years, playing great this year, you play the game of baseball the right way.
1-1 delivery on the way. Another foul ball, this time the other way foul. Paul Molitor doing well. Hall of Famer, Minnesota. Ryne Sandberg done in Philadelphia. Stepped down today as their manager, an organization that looks like it's in for a complete overhaul, either before the season's done or when it's done.
Well, they've been talking about that, and good description of the Phillies. They're old and they're expensive, even though they have a lot of young players. And there's a high rider.
8 Ks.
So you get your pitch to hit, and then you just don't get a lot of them, and that's what good pitchers do. But now 1 for 13. I mean, look at the glove. It just Gomes puts it out there, and he just rides it. You try to cover that outside corner, so the approach is good, but the stuff just a little bit better.
Long way to his career high, which he set this year in strikeouts, 18 in May against the Cardinals. 2 down. Here's J.J. Hardy. Hardy, the home run, his 3rd of the year, came in the 2nd inning. That's the run for the Orioles. Orioles 3 hits. Indians have 6. Orioles have stranded a couple. The Indians have left 4 on base.
Yeah, I was talking to Brian Little, who scouts for the White Sox, and doing some advanced work because the Orioles next weekend will be in Chicago. And I said, just tell me about the Cardinals. They have the best record in baseball. He said they just know how to play the game, and they got some power arms in the bullpen and power starters. Jamie Garcia, the lefty, has been healthy. Carlos Martinez, they took him out of the bullpen. He throws from 94 to 98. They just play the game the right way.
And they hack.
Yeah, they do.
2 ball, 1 strike count with 2 down.
Got one of the best catchers in baseball, Molina. You got to hear Molina behind the plate, so he can kind of orchestrate the pitching staff.
2-1 delivery on the way to Hardy. Another one up in the air, this time in the yard. Left. Aviles is there, and he'll make the catch. A 1-2-3 inning. Kluber sets them down and protects a 2-1 lead.
Go for a second. What do we do?
Leski, all the great work he does all year, not just in the minor leagues, but with his research work at MASNsports.com. Norfolk Tides, team ERA 2.87, the best of any AAA team. The Bowie Bay Sox, their record now 10 above 500. First time they've been there since the end of 2012. And at Delmarva for the Shorebirds, they fell behind 7-0 in a game on Thursday. They won it 9-7, the biggest comeback of the year.
Well, those are good numbers to see. I remember we were talking about the late Frank Cashin, general manager here. When you work with the Mets, did a wonderful job, and he used to always talk, along with a lot of the general managers, Harry Dalton before that, the importance of actually having winning clubs.
Yeah.
Usually indicative that you're playing the game well.
And so many managers, general managers, will talk about not wanting to bring a player who's in a winning situation in the minors to a losing situation in the majors if they're young. They want to establish an attitude of winning. If you can do that in your minor league system, you move those players along together, they have that sort of attitude.
And then when you have win, 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 win all the way to the big leagues, they push people. And I saw that when I came up. And
1-1 ground ball off the fist. Chen's got to get over there in a hurry, and does. No. Looked like he may have been there in time. We'll see. Larry Vanover, the crew chief, with a safe sign, and the question is, did he miss the bag?
Well, I think that's the point. I mean, Kipnis can flat out run, so does he get the bag? Oh, I think he touched it. But again, by going back, it looked like to me that he brushed it. But then again, if he did he hit it right there? No, because he went back with the other leg.
So it's a 20-game hit streak.
So I think they're looking in to see if there's any definitive. I just don't know if you could change it from what we've seen. This is what Kipnis does. Yeah, so you can't really tell there. Somewhere close.
Buck Showalter is holding up play, asking the home plate umpire, and he's not going to challenge. So Kipnis has got a 20-game hit streak with the infield single. And the leadoff man is on here in the 5th inning. Kipnis flying down the line to beat that one out. That'll be hit number 7 off Wei-Yin Chen.
And because of the speed factor, even though they don't run, Lindor can handle the bat. A lot of options for Terry Francona.
Manny Machado even with a bag at third. He does bunt. Bad one. Great out. No play at first base. Fine play. Caleb Joseph finding that, getting the mask off because it wasn't hit that high, and puts it away.
Well, usually your backup catcher, of course, Caleb, the starter last year because of the injury to Wieters. That's what you want as defense, but Caleb heads up play and again trying to bunt for a base hit. And by doing that, just didn't get the went out. Everything was pretty good. Bat angle was good, but pops it up.
So a break for the not a break. The Orioles get the defensive play to keep that runner at first. Here is Brantley. He will foul it back. Brantley's got a base hit, and he has struck out. Talked about the difference of this Cleveland team at home and on the road. At home they are 8th in runs. On the road they are 12th. They are 10th in average at home, 7th on the road. The difference? Pitching.
Yep.
They are 2nd in pitching ERA on the road, 2nd in the league.
It's a run less, just about 99.
That one sliced. It's got spin. Hardy, one relay. Flaherty, not in time.
Yeah, that's a nice play right there. I mean, you got your shortstop having to go to his right. You got Flaherty having to come a long way to get there. So there's Hardy going to his right, and then you got the Lindor trying, not Lindor, but Kipnis trying to break up the double play, and Flaherty just kind of rolls right over him.
But Showalter holding play again.
Yeah.
And no challenge. So the fielder's choice recorded. Brantley now is at first base, but there are 2 down. And Rayburn will get a shot at it. Brantley with his speed able to get down there and avoid the double play. Rayburn's home run, 4th of the year, came as a leadoff homer in the 4th inning. Chen's delivery, and the pitch is taken down low for a ball. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Indians. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for the Orioles. Wei-Yin Chen making his last start in the minors. Back with the ball club for this one. 0-1 lifetime against Cleveland. And that is a strike at the knees on the inside corner. Rayburn didn't think so and turns away.
He said, I would much rather be hitting 2-0.
Rayburn has been a DH for this ball club. Made starts in right field, left field. Works as a pinch hitter when he's on the bench. Another versatile player. Off-speed breaking ball will miss, hit the plate. 2-1.
That's the one that he used against Philly, and since the slider was down and in and he homered, trying to take a little bit off. And we've seen Kluber do it, obviously right-handed, try to drop it off the end of the corner and very successfully to the left-handed hitters, and that's what Wei-Yin Chen worked on all spring.
2 ball, 1 strike count.
We've got to keep it down here. Really good high ball hitter.
Fouls that one back. That's the one he wanted. Orioles are not going to see a nemesis named Nick Swisher. He's on the DL, knee problems, DH much of the time for the ball club. There is Nick.
They got a couple of big hits on that Saturday day, the one game that the Indians did beat the Orioles but double knee operation has never really recovered the way he would like, or they would like.
2-2 delivery on the way. That one the other way and foul into the seats. So the 2-2. Chen working hard here, up to 85 pitches.
Well, it's the kind of game where you know you're not going to get a lot of runs. You haven't gotten a lot of runs all year long. You know who's pitching, and you know you've already made, and it's easy to do, 2 mistakes, and they've both been hit out of the park. And this guy was one of those guys that did it.
2 home runs, lifetime off Chen. The only 2 hits he's had off him. 2-2 delivery, and he comes inside. So jackknife back a little bit, and the count will go to 3-2. PARMELEE looking in to see if they wanted to move behind the runner Brantley. They do not. 3-2 down. He'll stay on the bag at first to cut Brantley's lead down. Brantley will be running here on delivery.
Well, let's see if he subtracts. And by subtraction, I mean maybe a changeup down and away.
7th pitch of the at bat, and it will miss. And there's the first walk surrendered by Chen.
There was wasn't a changeup, but it was a slow curveball, and it missed.
So for just the second time in the game, Cleveland will have runners on at first and second. True in the 4th inning, and they were 2 down. Same thing here in the 5th. They did not convert. 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position. Santana struggling in these situations, a 2.05 on the year. He has grounded out, flied out. Shift put on against him. Flaherty right behind second base. Goes after the first pitch and fouls it off.
Yeah, in this lineup, 9-man lineup, Kipnis at 340, Brantley at 333, and Raburn at 313. The rest of them all in the low 200s, 180s. And that's how you get to that collective 227 runner in scoring position number. Point I was trying to make, it's hard as a team to hit that low. Only the Mariners with a lower number.
A 1 delivery, foul back.
Isn't it amazing how many now they have what, Mark Trumbo, they got Nelson Cruz, $240 million for Cano, and they are still hitting 209. Edgar Martinez has come on as a hitting instructor.
Team that was expected to do very well this year,
or at least offensively get better, and they haven't to this point.
0-2 count. There are 2 away. Pitch to him. Yes, missed inside. Comes in with the 51 walks. Only Bautista with Toronto at 53 is ahead of Santana, starting the day in free passes. Outfield straight away. Carlos Santana, 1 ball, 2 strike count. Runners off first and second. The breaking ball ate him up. He just froze, and Chen gets his 3rd strikeout. No runs on 1 hit, 2 are left on base. Indians up by 1.
Kluber 3-9, won the Cy Young Award. High strike right there. Nice little breaking ball. Really mixing up his pitch. Another one to Caleb Joseph, high fastball to low. Manny goes down. Curveball, fastball away. 8 of them. 18 the high this year against the St. Louis Cardinals. And there you go. Most strikeout on curveballs since 2014. 170 last year. What, 169 strikes? Strikeouts. Only David Price with 271, with the Tigers more in the American League.
Great ball game. Only 1 run separating these two in this opener. Ryan Flaherty will lead it off. Flaherty will take it for his strike. He's picked up a base hit. Joseph and then Lowe to follow for the Orioles.
Yeah, Ryan has really stepped up his game. He's played great defensively. Hangs in there against lefties. 310, in fact, a better average against lefties. And there's the hook. Boy, it's almost like it's like 4-wheel drive. Just push the button and it goes over.
Preserve a spot on the roster for Ryan Flaherty. He knows there are changes coming. He's one who could be moved. As far as options are concerned, right now, not possible. He's too valuable. As Buck Showalter said today, he's not only a backup shortstop, he is the second baseman for the moment.
You know, I asked him, I said, so you're hitting 310 against lefties, no home runs, but 233 against righties with 3. And he said, I said, last year you didn't hit lefties, you hit righties better. He said, my dad is left-handed, threw me batting practice. Dad Ed, coach at Southern Maine. He said, I think I try to do too much sometimes from against the right-handed pitchers.
Swung on and missed. Kluber keeps it coming. That's the 9th strikeout.
Well, there's the curveball again, Gary, and it's you think it's going to be away, and then it just ends up down and in. The ability to get on top of it. Look at him, just really the fingers stay on top, and you spin it. As long as you don't get around it, it doesn't stay in the same plane very long.
Kluber has seen this before. They've only put 2 runs up there, 2-1-7 in support of him in the games he's pitched this year, the lowest run support in the majors. And they're not above that, not even at it yet. Pitch will be taken up high. He does have the 2-1 lead. Caleb Joseph, strikeout victim, is first time up. Obviously, the Orioles love to get him out of there, get to the bullpen, but he still hasn't reached 70 pitches. He'll take that. That is going to be in there for a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, last year on the way to 18-9 record with that low ERA you talked about, 2.44. They got him a little over 4.3 runs a game. And then he got on one of those rolls, and 4-0 in May. Then he went 4-0 in July, and then 5-1 in September on his way to 18 wins and a Cy Young award.
There won't be any Cy Young, and there'll be no 18 wins this year. His hope is, though, they get him some runs, he can get some W's and get Cleveland back into the race. Fouled away, and a 2-ball 2-strike count.
Well, Gary, the year I hurt my elbow, I went from 2-0 to 2-7, and of course we were in the pennant race, and then it came back and ended up losing 1-0 in the playoff game. But you really just pitched for that particular game, and he was down on the bench watching it rain a little bit early. We had some sprinkles, and said that's pretty much all I can do. There's his pitching coach, Mickey Callaway.
2-2 delivery on the way, and works him full. So Caleb Joseph gets a 3-ball 2-strike count. Kluber has walked only 1, and he has been ahead of hasn't walked anybody, and he's been ahead of most of the hitters. 3-2 delivery on the way, and a ground ball down to third. Fair ball on the line. Urshela's throw is over there in time. Joseph retired, and there are 2 down. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Birdland.
And Pyland, and because we used to have that kangaroo court, you only had it when you won. Same things with the victory pies.
It wouldn't be a real interesting court if you had it after you lost, would it?
No. Well, it was a real. I mean, they didn't sanitize us to way we could get on each other.
Lowe will take the pitch up high. Tomorrow's a night game, 7:15 first pitch. Chris Tillman against Cody Anderson. Fox game. We'll be back with you in Masson and WJZ on Sunday. 1 o'clock goes extra. 1:30 the ball game. Ubaldo Jimenez and Trevor Bauer are the scheduled starters. 2 down, nobody on. Lowe takes it up high. Count goes to 2-0.
And if you're Corey Kluber and you've done your homework, which I'm sure he has, he knows where his power is. He doesn't hit a lot of home runs, but it's down and in, where he can just drop the bat. Right where Santana's going, but he throws it out of the zone. Well, you get speed. You don't get a lot of ability to steal bases with David Lowe. He's only 1 out of 5, but if he gets on easy with Manny Machado, anything up the gap is probably going to score on it.
3-0. He aimed it and he missed. So there is the first walk. It comes with 2 down, and it will turn the order over. He walks Lowe. On Tuesday, when the Orioles take on the Rangers, 7:05, all fans are going to get a Bud Norris designed My Home, My Team Orioles t-shirt. The next in the team's player design t-shirt series. Celebrate your home team with this great Orioles collectible. Go to Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD for tickets. Little breeze is picked up, blowing up towards left field here in the 5th inning. Manny Machado is grounded out, struck out. He had retired 10 in a row. Kluber had prior to the walk to David Lowe. Lowe's got a big lead. Machado will go after the first pitch and deliver a base hit. Lowe will make a turn and stay. Brantley to the cutoff man. So the Orioles with 2 down put runners on at first and second base.
Yeah, we talked about being a high ball hitter. Look from this angle where that ball is, belt high. The only thing good news for Kluber is that he didn't hit it out of the park or hit a double up the gap. No better high ball hitter on this club, talking about the Orioles, than Manny Machado.
So Machado continues his streak to 8. Talking with Carlos Santana at first base. More importantly, the Orioles trailing by 1. Get a couple on here for Snyder. Snyder's done a great job with runners in scoring position, hitting .333, and he's had chances, 36 of them on the year. Chris Davis far and away the most chances, 64 this season with runners in scoring position. 2 down. Kluber's delivery to him.
Yeah, just can't pick up the breaking ball. I thought maybe Travis might have run into Corey Kluber, but going over the National League, it's only the 3rd time he's faced him, and the first 2 times he struck out. And if you don't see the breaking ball, you're going to chase out of the zone, and they were good hooks. I mean, really good pitches.
Orioles at .320 in these situations, the best in the majors. 0-1 delivery on the way.
Yeah.
Snyder will take it. That's in there as well.
And when you're out in front of everything, and he can kind of get that sense if you're a pitcher, you know that he's trying to wait, and then he just guns a 94-mile-per-hour fastball pretty much down the middle.
Kluber trying to get out of this. Retired the first 2. The walk to Lowe. Single by Machado. Now Snyder. RBI chance. Base hit. Tie the ball game up. Not a big lead. Lindor holding the runner at second. 0-2 pitch on the way, and strike him out. Hit the dirt. Got to make the flip to Santana, and does. 10 strikeouts in the ball game. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 are left on base. Cleveland leads it by 1. private fundraising event for Shannon's Fund today at the ballpark, an endowment at University of Maryland Medical Center. Shannon's Fund, established by the Orioles Reach in 2008 to provide financial support to hospital patients, their families, with expenses associated with the treatment process. The endowment, created in memory of Shannon LeVeger, the club's former director of community outreach, who fought cancer for a year before passing away at the tender age of 29, 2007. Oriole players out signing autographs, fans there to support it. That took place here at the ballpark today. Thanks to all who participated in that great drive. Yan Gomes coming up. He has flied out and struck out. Pitch, a breaking ball up. Chen has thrown 14 out of 24 first pitch strikes in the ball game. Two leadoff batters have reached. Home run, Rayburn in the fourth, single in the fifth by Kipnis, infield hit. And that pitch will miss down low. Brad Brock in the bullpen for the Orioles as the pitch count climbs.
It's what, about 93, but again, this type of game, I think you get a sense, probably not going to get a lot of runs to work with. Monitor it.
And we'll miss outside.
And I always thought when it's 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, that if you throw in 95 pitches, the intensity is so great that it's more than that. And you just can't throw it down the middle, 2-0, 2-1, and
Gomes will take that.
Yeah,
he'll take the walk here, and evidence of maybe Chen's tank getting closer to the E mark is he gave up the first walk in that last inning, falls behind here.
He doesn't walk much, Gary. I mean, only 2 times coming into the game and almost 100 at bats. So you got to walk him, and he does.
So the leadoff batter is on 3 innings in a row now for the Indians. Take a look at our Express Stat by Express Care, a LifeBridge health partner for locations. Visit whywaitinther.com.
So Wei and Chen, I mean, when you consider the run support, and it's very low, about 3.5 runs a game, not as low as Kluber's, it's a lot of outs, a lot of very pressure packed innings. So he's done a nice job. It's into the 7th inning.
Moss had a home run and a single and fouls that one off. Scherzer had a perfect ball game tonight, broken up, 6th inning. Freddie Galvis picked up a double. Some pitchers are doing some crazy things here of late, throwing almost no hitters and or no hitters.
Well, Scherzer did. Then what? He had a 1-hitter the game before.
Yeah.
And that was a perfect game into the 9th.
0-1 count. Moss, broken bat, foul ball outside of first.
Yeah, the hardest pitch to hit, and I talked to Jason Kipnis, who leads the league in hitting and in hits and all that. He said the one ball I don't think I can hit is that 2-seamer down and in, and that's what Chin did against Moss. So the feeling is you just can't quite get to it, and when you do, sometimes you don't get the barrel of the bat. You get it up in the handle, and that's how you break bats very easily.
Shift is on against Moss at double play depth. Gomes at first base, an 0-2 count. Brandon Moss waiting on it. Fisted again. Parmelee. And he's got it. So Moss is out of there, 1 down, 6th. On Monday, Oriole infielder Jimmy Paredes will be signing autographs and meeting fans from 11 a.m. until noon at the official Orioles team store in the York Galleria. Plus, author Jim Henneman's going to be on hand signing copies of the Orioles' new legacy book, 60 Years of Orioles Magic. That's all Monday at 11 until noon at the official Orioles team store in the York Galleria. For more information, go to OriolesReach.com. Urshela has singled and grounded out. Runner at first, double play depth in the infield.
Wow.
And down he goes with a tremendous cut.
Actually, he just slipped, but he did air it out a little bit. A little helicopter, we used to call it. Wow. Let it go.
It's icy down there.
Well, he did swing so hard that he lost his balance.
0-1 count.
So how did you hurt your leg? Oh, well, in the batter's box.
0-1 delivery foul.
There's another one.
He doesn't want to get cheated up there.
Yeah, I was talking to Rick Banning. Pitched against Rick. He does the television. He's been doing it for years. I said, tell me about Urshela. Urshela, and he said, well, he stays inside the ball. But not in those two swings. Those were, maybe I can hit it, join the party, a couple of solo home runs, and maybe I can hit one.
Chen with the 0-2 count. Fewest double plays in the American League for a pitcher, Wei-Yin Chen. A lot of fly balls, so those ground balls are infrequent, and they haven't come in double play situations for the Oriole left-hander.
Well, the numbers
year.
I looked at were 90 and 90 as far as balls put in play. 95 balls, 90 ground balls.
I got 60-40.
Okay, there we go. We looked at different numbers.
What does stats say? Whatever they want. Whatever you want them to say.
But primarily, he's been a fly ball pitcher while he's been in an Oriole uniform.
Big pitch down and in. Got him a strikeout and an important one. That's 4.
Nice pitch down and in. Now, you know, he's airing it out up and in. This time, move it over a little bit, move it down in the zone. Something he does so well. One thing about Wei-Yin Chen, nobody will ever accuse him of being shy to have confidence in his fastball.
Almost up to that season high. He needs one more out, finish off the 6th. Aviles up, runner at first base. He'll take the pitch for a strike. He is flied out, hit into a fielder's choice. Aviles with a 253 off lefties this year, about 30 points lower than against right-handers. Short lead at first base, Yan Gomes. Little tapper foul.
Great change up there. Haven't seen a lot of them tonight.
Cleveland against left-handers, they're 11-17 against left-handed starters. They are next to last in win percentage in the American League against left-handers. Even though they've got a better batting average against lefties than righties, 260 to 248. 0-2 delivery on the way, and a swing and a miss. So Wei-Yin Chen, he walked the leadoff batter, but finishes the inning with a couple of strikeouts, 5 in the game. 2-1 Cleveland. Jim Palmer with you, and for Wei-Yin Chen, returns and pitches well.
Pretty much what we expect. Doesn't get a lot of runs all year long. Tonight, no exception to that. Kluber, I think the Orioles, you know, he gave up 1 run in 2 starts last year. You know, he won here, got a no decision in a very close ball game in New York area in Cleveland, so they know how good he is. You throw that 3-9 record out. He's been great tonight. 15 outs, 10 strikeouts. But the Orioles still very much in this game, and that's what you like from your starting pitcher.
You ever have a feeling of a presence, like a mystical thing, like a ghost thing? Like there's somebody else here? You feel that?
Lately I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
I just have that feeling. It's like we're not alone here doing this broadcast.
Well, and 25,000 people won't be alone tomorrow night when they come out here. Because they will get that.
It's Gnome night tomorrow for 25,000, 15 and over. That's bunted. Foul and not playable. Urshela charging in, but he had been back, and when Paredes trying to get that base hit, just couldn't catch up to it. Well, actually, so 1 strike count.
Actually, he was tired from swinging so hard.
Well, that's true. It's a wonder he's not tired like that every game. Kluber has given up just the 1 run on 4 hits. Indians have 2 run on 7, but they've left 7. Orioles have left 4. Jimmy Paredes has doubled and struck out. Davis and Parmelee due up. And the pitch will be taken for a 1-1.
Yeah,
for Kluber, we talk about strikeouts, Jim. It's the 5th 10 or more strikeout game for him this year, 18th of his career. 1-1 pitch. Paredes will wrap that one to the gap. That's going to fall in. Moss was way over and is able to cut that off. Boy, you talk about positioning, and guns it into second.
Yeah, already shot one up the gap on a slider. Well, he does the circle route, and Brandon Moss can play first. He could play the outfield. So if you are a better hitter than outfielder, you play a little deeper, easier to come in and get over, cut off the gap, and that's what he's able to do.
So the leadoff man is on for the Orioles against Kluber, and that is the first time in the ball game. Leadoff man's been on. He gets 74% of leadoff batters. Now Chris Davis, he has popped out and flied out. Shift on at double play depth.
And he bunted against Philadelphia, so they take the bunt away from him.
Scouting report says he will if you give him a chance.
Yeah. I don't think it's a great play. He won't do it now because URSHELA hasn't moved over like they normally play. Now he's going to take a couple of steps back. But when you're down by 1 and you can hit the ball out of the ballpark, you don't be bunting. And that's going to be the case.
1-0 count on Chris. Now 1 for 10. Lifetime off Kluber. That pitch will be taken as a strike. Take a look at our Maryland Live Casino inside the numbers.
So you can see again, number 4 lineup position gets better elsewhere. The Orioles are just hoping that he can hit well tonight, even though he's hitting 4th, playing right field. It'll be a new stat. Especially if he goes out of here or hits one up the gap.
1-1 delivery on the way, and the pitch is going to be up high. So Kluber, way out of the strike zone on that one, goes to 2-1. Gomes walked the ball out a little bit just to break up the rhythm.
Yeah, you won't see too many guys that appear to be calmer than Corey Kluber.
Paredes good speed off first base. Not a big lead. 2-1 delivery on the way. Davis a broken bat and a running catch made by Moss. The ball was diving as the bat broke, so there wasn't a lot on it, but Moss again right where he needed to be.
Yeah, a little cutter, maybe a slider that stays up just enough. So Chris hits it well. You think it might sink. Well, a couple of nice plays by the right fielder, Brandon Moss. One to cut off a double, other one to take away the base hit.
That'll bring up Parmelee. Parmelee has struck out twice in the ball game. At least Chris Davis can say he hasn't struck out in the game. Only he and Hardy can say that against Kluber so far. Parmelee has struck out twice. He was the 2nd and the 8th strikeout for Corey Kluber. Parmelee will take the pitch outside for a ball. That's where Yan Gomes had set up, keeping it away.
So you can see Brad Brock again up, and Orioles hoping that they can tie it up, maybe even get a lead for Wei-Yin Chen. And of course his last 2 batters blew him away with fastballs, but they monitored the pitch count so closely, and he's a power pitcher.
Here's the 1-0 delivery on the way to Parmelee, and he took that big cut and fouls it straight back. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, you look at that 90 pitches, and Terry Francona, they're not concerned about that number, but probably about a handful of pitches that were been in the middle of the plate. Been pretty good. And you're just hoping that, and we've seen Chris Parmelee, I mean, he's hit a couple of home runs on low fastballs in Boston. Hit a triple down the right field line, a couple of doubles, broke up the no-hitter yesterday in the 4th inning off of Rodriguez to left center.
Back to the bag without a problem. Paredes making sure. The Orioles had a couple of runners taken out on the base paths in Boston. Buck Showalter was not happy about and made it very clear.
Well, Gomes throws real well. You know, 8 out of 20, so he's 40%.
You know, the Oriole runners have that in the back of their minds. Managers made his point. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Buck was funny about that after the guys got taken off in the base paths. Talking with him after the ball game, I said, going to take a look at the video and see what went wrong. He said, no. I only use the video to confirm what my eyes have already told me.
Well, yeah.
And they screwed up. Okay. 2-1 count on PARMELEE.
And you know, I used to always talk to Lou Piniella, who came up through, well, they came up in a lot of organizations, but managed with the Yankees. Said Billy Martin told him you got to see everything. That's who Buck learned from. You don't miss much.
2-1 delivery on the way, and a perfect pitch. So he struck him out 3 times. No, 2-2. Sorry.
2-2. Yeah. Well, it's just I mean, watch the finish on this ball. It not only is it 92, 93, it's right where Gomes slides to with, and he throws a 2-seamer, 4-seamer. You just don't know what you're going to get. So maybe a pitch or two early in the count to hit, and now you got to cover 158 with runners in scoring position, which is about the league average for him.
2-2, runner not going. That's the first time I've seen a catcher shake off a pitcher.
That might have been throw
Yan
over.
Gomes may have been giving the sign to throw over. You saw him shaking his head. He looks over to get the sign from the dugout on whether they want to throw over, hold the ball with that runner on at first base. 2 ball, 2 strike count. And again, concern about Paredes. Brad Mills, the bench coach, was giving the signs over there.
Well, you'd like to hope that maybe, and I don't know why, and he has stolen 3 out of 5. And Manny Machado with a lot of steals for the Orioles. Maybe it'll hurt his focus. Yeah, maybe it did.
Well, we said he's not as effective with runners on and working out of the stretch. Orioles trying to take advantage of that. Haven't had a lot of chances because there haven't been a lot of runners. 3 ball, 2 strike count.
See, now I can see throwing over, and Mickey Callaway in the pitch count getting up close to 100 at 93. Now you might throw over just to hope you might get him leaning, and because he'll be running here.
3-2-1 down. Runner takes off, big jump, foul back into the screen.
And it's such a big difference when you're pitching. You didn't want to go 3-2. The Orioles want that because the ball up the gap with somebody running, more likely to score. Somebody's going to have to cover. Zach McAllister, who Orioles saw on a couple of occasions in Cleveland, aren't throwing righty. So eventually, because he's running, one of the middle infielders, shortstop or second base, is going to have to cover. So it opens up holes.
It's interesting. Nobody moved on that last one at short or second. They just stayed right where they were. 3 ball, 2 strike count. He'll be going again, 1 away. Long hold. Runner goes. Shortstop covers. And a base hit into right field. Paredes will go to third. Moss up. Going to wave him on home. Now they want to hold him. And he'll get back to the bag. Bobby Dickerson was wheeling him around and then saw that Moss was handling it cleanly and shut him down as he made the turn at third.
Yeah, Bobby Dickerson did it exactly the way you're supposed to, because, as we mentioned, he's running. What's he going to jump right there? So now, I mean, great base running by Parmelee. The play's in front of him. He doesn't even hesitate. But right here, you're thinking, okay, he's going to score. And then Moss, who's had a busy inning out in right field, cutting balls off, thinking the play on Davis does get to it quickly.
Great at bat for Parmelee. He's got a base hit, and now J.J. Hardy, who had the home run in the second inning, is third.
I would imagine they'll score that as a double.
Runner on at second, and runners at second and third. Hardy's got a chance on a base hit to pick up 2 more RBIs. Hardy, 432 with runners in scoring position. Orioles are 0 for 2 in that department so far tonight. It is scored a double for Parmelee.
Yeah, he's had 2 good pitches to hit. The home run on a high fastball, and then he just missed another one on a high slider. And of course, Kluber's trying to strike him out.
0-1 delivery on the way. Hardy will take it up high. JJ, an outstanding road trip for the Orioles. Hardy went 10 for 34 on the road trip. He had 5 runs scored and 4 RBIs. Trying to continue that here at home. 1 ball, 1 strike. Orioles with a chance here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, so in at the corners and back up the middle to try to keep that second run from scoring.
1-1, swung on and missed.
Yeah, that's the cut fastball. A lot of movement. And again, he's going to hunt for the strikeout. And how do you do that? Of course, JJ's trying to hit a ball in the air. That's what you'll work on. I mean, early in the day, started in back on the 19th of February in these situations that Scott Coolbaugh, the hitting instructor, said, man on third, less than 2 outs. Try to get a ball in the air if you can.
1 ball, 2 strike delivery by Kluber, and he'll foul it back upstairs. Hardy more protecting on that than anything else. I was talking to JJ before the ball game about when you have these situations with a runner in scoring position and you're doing so well, are you cutting down on your swing? He said no. He said, I never cut down. I don't swing that hard anyway. I don't cut down on it. I want the same rhythm no matter what the situation is.
Well, that's a great point, because you're just trying to, they call it barreling up the ball. Kluber makes that hard sometimes.
1-2. He barrels it up to center field. Runner tagging. Brantley will make the throw to third. J.J. Hardy's done it again. He gets the RBI sac fly. Ball game tied.
Yeah, and by doing that and cutting down, not cutting down, but just being focused of where the bat head is, you hope to make contact, and then Kluber does not make a very good pitch. This is one of those hanging cutters, and boy, it's very hittable, and he doesn't miss it. I mean, he squares it up. If it's up the gap, it's going to be a double. So 3 good at bats for J.J. Hardy tonight. 1 for the home run and then the sacrifice fly.
So the Orioles come back to tie the ball game up. They trailed 1-0. They trailed 2-1. They've come back each time to get it tied, and now Flaherty will await his chance. They'll have a conference here at the mound on how they want to work to him. Nicky Callaway coming up. It's never stop improving. It's brought to you by Lowe's.
Well, there's what we've been talking about all night long. Kluber gets 2.2. Hamels 2.5. Quintana of the White Sox, one of their 4 left-handed starters. Garza and then Odorizzi in Tampa Bay playing well, but not a great offensive team. And then about an 1/8 of a 10th run higher, Wei and Chen, who's hoping, you know what, maybe I'll get 3 runs tonight. Probably going to depart, but give me the lead.
2-2 ball game. Anything here goes to Chen's side of the record. J.J. Hardy with a sacrifice fly. The RBI to tie the ball game up, so he's got 2 ribbies tonight, 18 on the year. Still a runner in scoring position at second base. Parmelee, and here's Flaherty. A base hit, and he is struck out. He's hitting .333 in these situations this year. Kluber's delivery to him, breaking ball in there for a strike. Now Ryan trying to give the Orioles the lead in the ball game.
Yeah, the book on Ryan, and we'll see if Kluber takes a chapter out of it, is basically stay away from the fastball. Try to get him out with breaking balls.
1-0 count. LINDOR holding the runner. Ball is blooped. That's got a chance. It falls in. Brantley up. Runner coming home. Here's the throw. Way off the mark. Throw to second base. Not in time. The Orioles lead for the first time tonight. 3-2. Flaherty the RBI.
So the average much better against lefties tonight. 2 out of 3. Line drive the first time, strikeout, and kind of hits it soft. Up on the bat, drops it in. Looks like the throw's going to be close, but it's offline. Heads up base running. Take the lead, get another guy into scoring position.
18 RBIs for the Orioles second baseman. Brantley would have had to make a perfect throw for it even to be close, and he was way off the mark, and Flaherty goes down to second. And the Orioles with a couple of runs in this inning on 3 hits. Hardy and Flaherty the RBIs. Now they will try and add to it. Caleb Joseph 0 for 2 is struck out, grounded out, puts one up in the air, right field. Moss will move over and make the catch. But the Orioles have the big inning against Kluber. They get a couple of runs, 3 hits, no errors, 1 left on, and the Orioles are up by 1.
Kluber, a couple of mistakes, not a lot of them. A high slider to Moss and low slider to RABURN, but mixed up his pitches, made some nice adjustments. And meanwhile, the Orioles come back to take a 3-2 lead. Pitches extremely well, trying to even up his record at 4-4. Again, a lot of strikes and not a lot of balls, and again, only the 2 solo home runs. Our AT&T call to the bullpen. AT&T, proud partner of the Baltimore Orioles. AT&T mobilizing your world. Brad Brock on busy road trip, 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, couple of runs. We saw him up at Boston where he pitched an inning. A lot of fastballs, hard slider, power changeup, and a good one.
Brad Brock worked against the Indians. He has the 1 game under his belt against them, 2 1/3 innings. Took a loss in that ball game. Gave up 1 run, 1 hit in 2 1/3. So the Orioles for the first time on top, 7th inning. Each team with 7 hits in the ball game. And of course, Wei-Yin Chen's now got a chance to win the game. Those runs go to his side, all 3 of them.
And of course, it starts off with a guy leading the league in hits and batting average.
Kipnis 1 for 3, continued his hit streak to 20 games with an infield single. Brock bobbles, recovers, retires. Follow the Orioles wherever you go with MLB.com at bat, #1 app for live baseball. At bat up to the moment, any moment. In-game highlights, look-ins, reviews, radio broadcasts, and more. At bat, get it. MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet. When you can keep your head about you when all are losing theirs, which he just did, you get an out.
You know, that was my first Maury Wells, my first World Series game. That's what he did. I wasn't quite as smooth. I had stolen like 100 bases that year, and because I kind of, I knocked it down, it was somewhere around my feet, kind of like that, and made an off balance but accurate throw to a big target. I had Boog over at first, Boog Powell. But yeah, sometimes
flinch.
Yeah, well, no, it's not the flinch. That was pretty routine as the one Maury hit. Got you over, a little pumped up.
1-1 and breaks that one down and in on him. LINDOR is single, 1 for 3, switch hitter with 1 down.
Well, Brock came in. I mean, Brad came up and I was talking to Brock Hope, who was having a nice year for the Red Sox. He said, "Try hitting this guy." Even if you're left-handed, which Brock is, Holt is, and
he does, left field base hit as he just went with it, leaned in.
Yeah, well, that's what he said you have to do, and he said it's hard to do that.
So he's got a 2-hit ball game.
Well, LINDOR, this is pretty much the book on him. You think you make a good pitch, but this is a little bit down the middle of the plate. You could see you're sitting on the corner, you reach back. I mean, not a horrible pitch, but he's a line drive hitter, and we've seen him do it.
So the potential tying run is on with speed. Number 3 hitter Brantley's had a base hit. 1 for 3. Fielder's choice and a strikeout. How important has Brad Brock become to the Orioles bullpen? He leads the Orioles bullpen in innings pitched. Ooh, had a steal. Gonna try again. No, comes back. It looked like Brantley believed he was going. He took a couple of steps and Lindor stopped. Joseph lost the ball. He started again. Joseph picked it up and he came back.
Yeah, a lot of times, and you know, trying to get a good jump, but then of course it's too late because you've already gone back. And you know, a lot of times you'll think you're running and you don't get the jump that you want to get, and right there you certainly can't anticipate that. Would have waltzed into second if he did.
Throw over, close. So he's extended his lead as far as he can go.
Well, if you're going to throw anybody out, and Caleb Joseph last year at 40%, right there almost gets him. I mean, this is part of the deal. Hold the ball, slide step, and then, you know, the snap throw almost gets him. That will cut his lead down, I would imagine. I'm not sure you want to get picked off in a one-run ball game with Michael Brantley at the plate. But then again, he is young. He's been up in the big leagues less than 3 weeks.
21 years old. 28 stolen bases last year between AA, AAA.
Yeah, he
throw over again. Well, Lindor making at least Brock throw over and be concerned about him, trying to get Brantley maybe a better pitch to hit by doing so.
Well, he's already behind in the count.
RABURN waiting on deck. 1 away. And towards short, Taylor made. Hardy to Flaherty to Parmelee, and that'll do it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. 7th inning stretch time. Orioles lead by 1. Time brought to you by Miller Lite.
Ryan Flaherty trying to get his second hit, give the Orioles a lead, and that's exactly what he does. Dumps it into center field. Parmelee running on the 2-strike base hit, and then heads up base running by Ryan. So a big night. Well, you were so right on about how valuable he is to this club. You lose your second baseman early in the year, and Jonathan Scope, and all of a sudden, I mean, they've tried a bunch of guys there, but he's seized the position for the moment. And Kluber says, I'm not leaving.
Nope.
I'm going to try to get him out and
get me some runs.
Guys get me some runs, something they haven't done a lot this season.
David Lowe's drawn a walk and has struck out. Machado and then Snyder will be due up. And a ground ball back to Kluber. And a pitch in and out. Famous song, Rubber Ducky, You're the One. Open up our Major League notebook to the Akron Rubber Ducks with Cleveland in town. I love that logo. They play in the Eastern League, AA affiliate of the Indians. They're named the Rubber Ducks, referring, of course, to the great history, the rubber industry there with the companies like Goodyear, Firestone, Goodrich, and General Tire. The Akron Rubber Ducks, AA of the Indians. Nice name, nice logo. And a pretty successful minor league franchise. Zepchenski and McAllister. Put the two together, you got the longest last name in baseball. You could have named him McAllister Zepchenski, which would have worked. Here's Manny Machado. A base hit, an 8-game hit streak for him now. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game.
Yeah, that's a tough autograph. I'm telling you right now, you got to come up with something. Not that you. Most of the autographs now, you don't even have any idea who they are.
No. 0-1 delivery on the way. Probably, as life goes, Zepchenski probably spells his out perfectly, and you can read it, just because it's so long. Whereas somebody who had a last name of O'Day.
Yeah, very kind of okay.
That ball is drilled. Will it stay fair? And no.
Yeah, there's the luck factor. A little lazy slider. You know, he's thrown so many good ones tonight, and then kind of get an idea of how hot Manny Machado's been. An 8-game hitting streak now, and when you make mistakes, certainly quick enough, strong enough to hit home runs right field, left field.
Leads the Orioles in June with 6 home runs, .368 average this month. That one he will pop up third base side. Urshela's there to put it away. Manny Machado is retired, and 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning.
So Kluber at least 2 outs, and the pitch count very minimal. So he's saying, "This is what I'm going to do." I'm kind of like, but you always, when you're on the road and you're down by a run and you'd be pitching that 8th inning, we used to call them, Mike Flanagan coined it, complete game losses, CGLs. Might lose, but at least you had a complete game.
2 down here. Snyder has struck out 3 times. 10 Ks on the night for Kluber. And the pitch will miss down low for a ball.
You can kind of look at the scoreboard. What the Nationals, their starters have gone like 41 and a third or 2/3 innings without giving up a run.
That was snapped tonight at 48.
48. Well, it's still pretty good.
48 scoreless innings. Scherzer gave up 1 in the 7th inning. It's the 2nd longest streak in the expansion era since '61. The longest streak.
Well, I don't know. Ryan Flaherty came up to me yesterday. He said, "Do you guys really pitch 5 consecutive complete game shutouts?" And I said, "Yes, we did."
Yes, you did. Underhand flip and a good play made by Kipnis. The record held by the Orioles 1974. 54 scoreless innings consecutive. In. Palmer. Brought to you by PNC, for the achiever in you. And by Coons.com. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Gorgeous night. Great ball game. Orioles have a 3-2 lead in the top of the 8th.
Darren O'Day and a lot of fastballs, a lot of breaking balls. One-run game. You can take that change-up. That's not happening. The one that I remember him throwing, he actually hit a batter, pulled it, and hit a lefty. So it's something he's worked on, but not thrown. Boy, has he been tremendous for the Orioles. Well, you, Mike Bordick, doing that game up in Toronto when he loaded the bases up and then struck it out and struck out the side. It just, and then so he won that game on Saturday, won the game on Sunday. So 2 wins. Leads the American League relievers with 4. Looks like Michael Bourne's going to come in, and Ryan Rainbird, he hits the home run off of Chen, one of the 2 solo home runs, and Michael Bourne will come in.
So Bourne will lead it off here in the 8th inning against O'Day. Darren worked 1 game against Cleveland earlier and gave up 1 run on 2 hits, 2/3 of an inning. Home run Rayburn, home run Moss, the 2 runs for the Indians. Speed of Bourne will bring Manny Machado in at 3rd. Check swing, foul ball. As Darren O'Day, you're seeing tonight what Butch Showalter's doing right now in the perfect game setting so far. You get a starter to go 6 or more. Chen went 6. You got Brad Brock, transition. Then you've got O'Day, and then you've got Zach Britton.
Yeah, and then you can throw in Chaz Rowe in there, who's been outstanding. You really, Tommy Hunter came in yesterday, protected the lead. Brian Mattis has pitched 10 straight outings with 4 strikeouts, scoreless. So the bullpen, and that's why the pitching's really settled down.
Bourne 1 for 4 as a pinch hitter. Dangerous leadoff hitter to get on with that speed. He thought about going, doesn't get the call on it. 1-2.
Obviously, Terry Francona wants him to get on. He came over as a burner, 4-year deal, had a hamstring problem, so last year didn't do a lot of running. We got Santana on deck, all of his home runs, all 8 against right-handed pitching.
1-2 delivery by O'Day, and that'll miss up high.
Yeah, you notice a lot of the guys. I mean, I think Joel Peralta, who's now pitching for the Dodgers, he started it where you don't have to come to a set with nobody on. So what happens? You kind of get into your set position. Right now, he's going to probably do normally, but they'll almost quick pitch.
2-2 delivery, and he got him. Not ready for that one, and took just a semi-hack at it. Struck him out.
Not ready for prime time right here. Just rides it up in the zone. Now you want to lay off it. You want to lay off it. Deceptive windup. Good movement. As it turns out, great movement and location.
Bourne is gone.
Yeah, almost hit it out of Joseph's glove.
So 1 down here in the 8th. Santana and Yan Gomes will be due up. Shift put on against Santana, who's 0 for 3 in the ball game. Santana will take it. It's in there for a strike.
Yeah, tremendous power. I mean, and from this side. I mean, this is the side when it comes to hitting home runs.
He's just 1 for 12 against the Orioles this year. Against O'Day, a hit in 2 at-bats. Orioles on top by 1 in the 8th. Delivery by O'Day will be fouled off.
And they play him Chris Davis, as we mentioned, playing right field. He's pretty shallow. And look how shallow he is out there. And they moved on 1 strike. He was over. He moved over towards right center field when they got the 2 strikes. And now he stays pretty much right where now he's moving back. Now he's going a little bit deeper.
First start in right field. He takes his instructions from the bench.
Wayne Kirby. Yeah.
0-2 count. O'Day's delivery, and that'll be outside. Just making him look a little bit. Count goes to 1-2. Orioles getting their first lead in that 6th inning as they got 2 runs on 3 hits. Home runs. A home run by Hardy. RBI Flaherty. And an RBI again by Hardy on a sac fly. And there it is. Way back in right, and goodbye home run, tie game.
Now that's what
he uncorked on one that he could get the bat around on.
Man, Darren O'Day unhappy with himself. This is what it's about, and he just drops the bat. Great place if you can pull a ball. As we said, all 9 home runs against right-handed pitching. O'Day doesn't throw many. So again, down and in is, boy, that's death. It's not that he doesn't go out and get it, but again, he's strong and he's certainly purposeful at the plate.
So Santana ties the ball game up. Both starters are, for the moment at least, indeed. Although Kluber's still in the ball game, maybe he'll come back. Here is Yan Gomes. Gomes 0 for 2 and a walk, and a swinging strike on that one. Santana picks up his 7th career home run against the Orioles. So they have used the homer. All 3 runs coming on home runs. Moss, RABURN, Santana. And a swing and a miss kept that one away. 4th home run given up by Darren O'Day this season.
Yeah, the lefty's only hitting 200 against him, and the righties come in at 133. Now home runs even, 2 apiece. So as we mentioned, doesn't throw a lot of home runs.
Santana's got 4 home runs here at Camden Yards. And a swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts in the inning. So 2 down in the 8th.
Yeah, perfect breaking ball. Right where you want to throw it with 2 strikes. Can't reach that one. 6 inches off the plate.
That'll bring Moss up. His home run came in the 2nd. Base hit in the 4th. 2 for 3 in the ball game. Shift on against him. All the way around in the infield. Moss will take the pitch up and in. Moss will try and drive one here with 2 down to try and get the lead back. Both teams have battled from deficits now. The Orioles did it twice. Cleveland comes back to tie this thing up in the 8th.
Right, 1-0. Yeah, you got to be really careful here, and it's almost like Joseph throws well. Moss isn't running. I look on deck. I see Urshela, and I'm going, I am not letting this guy beat me. No way. Not that the kid can't hit on deck. He's had a couple of good swings. But Brandon Moss, they got him because this is what he wants to do, hit the ball out of the park. And this is a pitch around, and it should be. I mean, it's risky to some degree. Already thrown 1 home run. Santana put a good swing on a pitch down in the zone. You don't want to make another mistake here.
Urshela waiting in the on-deck circle as Moss steps out. 3-0 count with 2 down, a run in on the homer by Santana to tie the ball game up at 3.
And you got to figure he's swinging here, so you got to even be careful. 3-0.
It's up high. So 4 in a row. Not intended to be strikes. And a runner on with 2 down. Game 2 will come to you tomorrow at 7 on Fox. Tune in to MASN 2 on Sunday. Orioles Indians will wrap up the 3-game set coverage on Sunday. 1 O's Extra presented by Southwest, followed by game coverage at 1:30 on MASN 2 and WJZ. All the access you need right here on MASN. That'll bring up David Murphy, a 2nd pinch hitter used in the inning. So Murphy platooning, as we mentioned earlier. You get a chance as a pinch hitter here against O'Day. The Orioles will keep the shift on against him with a runner on at first base and 2 down.
There are already 3 pinch hit home runs and
good off-speed pitch.
So tread carefully.
Murphy 0 for 3 off Darren O'Day. David Murphy, runner at first. Indians coming back to get this tied. Kluber's got to be joyous. They've got 3 runs. And that'll be fouled over the screen.
They'd even be more joyous if Murphy hits a double or a home run here. Get the pom-poms out with getting 2 runs a game.
Sitting on the bench waiting behind all the folks there. Corey Kluber.
And of course their bullpen up and appears to be ready.
0-2 count on Murphy. No lead at first. Moss almost on the bag. Here's the 0-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. So O'Day strikes the side out, but Damage done. The home run by Santana. 8th inning ties it up. Armaz the do-ups. Paredes, Davis, and Parmelee when we come back. Frank Robinson, 2 grand slams in the same ball game as the Orioles beat the Senators 12-2. He became the 7th major leaguer to do that. There have been 13 now. And in 1916, the Indians became the first team with numbers on their uniforms. They had them on the sleeves. They used the large numbers corresponding to lineup cards. They only did it for a few weeks. For Frank, there are the Hall of Fame numbers. The 294. 2943 in hits, 586 home runs. Frank Robinson on a grand slam day for him in 1970.
Mark Zipsinski comes in. So fastball, slider, occasional changeup. 91, 93. Done a nice job for him. The Orioles, if you go way back, he actually started some games for Toronto. Came up in 2009 and then was with the Cardinals, and then last couple of years with Cleveland. Done a nice job for him.
Ball game tied. Murphy will stay in the ball game in left. Aviles will go from left to third. URSHELA out of the ball game. So the Orioles got to battle back again. Paredes puts a good charge into this one, into the gap. It's going to hit at the base of the wall. He's thinking about 3, but will stop at second base as Moss gets it in. First pitch seen. Paredes, his 3rd hit and his 2nd double of the ball game.
Yeah, you bring in the lefty because you got Davis on deck and they want to match up. Paredes better hitter from the other side until right there. Well, you think this ball might get out of here, and what you like about Jimmy Paredes, he comes out of the box thinking triple. Now, as it turns out, you never want to make that last or first out at third, so he puts the brakes on coming into second.
He gets his 8th 3-hit game of the year for Paredes. Now Chris Davis can give the Orioles the lead. He is 0 for 3 in the ball game. Paredes a big lead at second. He's going to do it. Base hit into right field. Moss up with it. Here comes Paredes. Davis stops at first. Orioles 4, Indians 3.
Well, you know, lefty's hitting 214, righty's 222. If you're Terry Francona, you bring in Zipsinski and you go, okay, this guy's been good.
And our Lexus of Towson drive of the game.
Yeah, slider. So fastball for a double. Slider, you can see him stay with it. Hooks it down into the line. Thinking double, but the important runner right here, Paredes, will give the Orioles the lead 4-3.
Our Lexus of Towson drive of the game brought to you by Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 volume Lexus dealer, 5 years running. See why at LexusofTowson.com. So Chris Davis gets it done. Shaw up in the bullpen. Brian Shaw, 2 pitches, 2 hits, and a run from Zipsinski. That ball's going to go into the gap. That is going to fall for a base hit. Davis read it. He'll stop at second base. Zipsinski can't get anybody out. Can't even get a pitch by a hitter. He's thrown 3 pitches. There have been a double, a single, and another single, and a run scored.
And here comes Terry Francona. You know, the one thing about Mark Zepsinski is he's not overpowering, so he's got to make his pitches. He got a fastball up to Paredes. He hangs the slider to Davis, and right there, PARMELEE, who started the party yesterday in Boston, continues it.
Zepsinski came into the ball game with 12 straight scoreless appearances over 5 2/3 innings. The Orioles put an end to that.
Boy comes in, throws a lot of strikes. You like that. They just hit him, and then now it's time for a little relief for your car too. Visit Jiffy Lube for regular oil changes and help prevent damage and wear to your engine. Jiffy Lube. Drive in today. So Brian Shaw, a lot of fastballs. 90, 93. We saw a lot of cutters. Nice hard breaking ball, and he's done a nice job for him. Scoreless, what, in 25 of the 32 games. And lefty's only hitting 167. There are the numbers. Righty's a little higher batting average.
Workhorse last season in 80 games. He worked 76 innings. He ended up with a 5-5 record and 2 saves. He comes on here. You see 19 out of 25 stranded.
Boy, such a game of momentum. We talked about the Indians. They're 18-15 on the road. They tie it up on the Santana home run, and the Orioles come roaring back.
And J.J. Hardy's going after another RBI. He's got 2. Homer and a sac fly. Wow. They're looking for a bunt in the infield. That one almost gets by Yan Gomes.
Yeah, I don't know of many catchers that catch that ball. That's how far outside it was. Kind of watch him rotate, and boy, I mean, this ball's heading for the backstop. What a nice grab.
Zepsinski's 3 hits off him. That's the most he's given up in an appearance this year. That one will be in there for a strike to J.J. Hardy. The Orioles now 4 runs on 10 hits, leading it by 1, answering the Indians' run in the 8th inning. Zach Britton now in a save situation if it stays this way going to the 9th. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way, and Shaw's pitch will be fouled. Orioles have gone 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Again, not a lot of chances, but they take advantage of them when they get them, and that's what the Indians have not been able to do.
They had the Hardy home run, and you just don't get a lot of opportunities when Corey Kluber pitches in a game. I mean, the 3 runs they got off him is, what, 2 more than they got all last year in 14 innings.
1-2 delivery inside. It'll make Darren O'Day the potential winner in this ball game,
which he'll like, but he won't really like it because yeah, he doesn't like to give up runs, not with a lead.
Gave up the home run to Santana, but struck the side out. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Runners off first and second base. 2-2 delivery to Hardy is a chopper right to second. There's one. LINDOR to first. He'll get the double play. The Orioles will move the runner, Davis, over to third base, but now there are two down. There's O'Day, who will be coming out of the ball game for Britton in the ninth.
Yeah, he's still not happy about the home run. I mean, he's happy the Orioles have come with some offense, but and you got to think you're going to walk Flaherty right here to pitch to Joseph.
Infield moving around. They will give the intentional pass to him.
Yeah, you just can't afford to. I mean, you got to make Caleb Joseph, who actually, I mean, tonight has been a struggle, but he hits well with runners in scoring position, as do most of the Orioles.
Terry Francona's third year with the Indians. Buck Showalter, the Orioles, two managers making decisions in a ball game. It's been a one-run differential throughout. Flaherty will take it outside. Davis over there at third base, watching it all. Talking with Aviles. 3-0. And there's ball 4. And a breaking ball, no less.
Well, the 2-0 pitch was hittable.
Dipped.
Yeah. Well, that's that. I don't know. He throws the cutting fastball. Almost everything moves. And so now Caleb Joseph with a chance.
Well, Caleb Joseph, well, the numbers overall may not be extremely high. He's hitting .361 with runners in scoring position, way above that .232 overall average. And he gets the chance against Shaw. First and third, 2 away. One or more runs added here. Looks real big in the bottom of the 8th.
You think he'll drop a bunt down? He's certainly giving it to him.
They are way back in the infield with 2 down.
And it's not like he hasn't bunted before.
He will bloop that one down the line, but it's going to go foul.
Yeah, you could just tell Caleb that he gets in those little funks and where he's not seeing the ball well, right there, just trying to fight it off. And it's a great thing about being a catcher. I mean, you want to get base hits, but your primary job is to call a good game and hope that your pitcher gets deep in the game, and he's been able to do that with the staff tonight.
0-1 count. Joseph will take it. It'll be a strike on the outside corner. Corey Kluber, 7 innings, 3 runs, 7 hits, a walk, and 10 strikeouts. Non-decision. 0-2 delivery on the way. Joseph down to third and foul. Chopped down on that one.
Well, we've seen him, and I think a lot of the reasons he's hitting .361 with runners in scoring position is the ability to cut down the swing. I mean, not cut it down, but just kind of make sure that it's not an overswing. That's the experience factor of J.J. Hardy. I mean, he pretty much, as you mentioned, swings the same way. Caleb's just trying to learn and has done a nice job in these pressure situations.
Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way to him, and that'll be to right field. That'll send Moss back a step, and he'll make the catch. But the Orioles get that all-important go-ahead run. On 3 hits, couple left on base. Zach Britton on 9th inning coming up. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by your local BMW centers. Friday night at the Park. Orioles looking to win it by 1. Need 3 outs.
So Zach Britton comes in, and you can see 21 out of 22, 17 in a row. 18 last year in a row. So if he can do it tonight, a lot of fastballs, a lot of ground balls. And then had a busy road trip. 5 innings, 6 hits, a couple of runs, but also was able to save a couple of games up in Boston. Talking about the pitched a lot, maybe not quite getting the arm out of the glove a little bit. So the ball's been up a little bit, but very, very effective. And again, his game is to put the ball, make them put the ball on the ground.
21 out of 22 in save opportunities for Zach Britton. Aviles will lead it off. He is 0 for 3. Then you got the top of the order. Kipnis. Delivery on the way and a base hit on the first pitch. Just stepped back and shot the ball into right field. So the Indians get the man on they needed here in the ninth.
Yeah, he said, ideally, to Zach talking in the hallway to Rick Dempsey and myself today, he's going, you want to get the first guy out. And right there, that ball was just up a little bit. And when you throw 95 to 97, Aviles is looking hard, and he got it and then put a nice swing on it.
Now Manny Machado's moved way in at third on the league's leading hitter. Kipnis is 4 for 8 off Zach Britton. Aviles on at first base. Each team now with 10 hits. Britton's delivery to him, and it is a strike. Kipnis extended his hit streak with an infield single in the 5th inning. He's now the major league high 20 games, which is not only the high for the moment, but the major league high for the year. Potential tying run on at first base. Britton the long hold inside to him, almost caught him on the
kneecap. Yeah, 97 running in. Yeah, the amazing thing, you come in, you don't have any room for error. Zach Britton, of course, came to the big leagues as a starting pitcher. Won 11 games one year and then had some shoulder problems. And last year became the closer. 37 saves for the Orioles.
1 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way, and a chopper towards second base. Flaherty, Hardy, relay. Not in time.
Well, you can see Parmelee trying to take the stretch, but Kipnis runs too well. If you're Ryan Flaherty, here's the deal. Make sure you get 1, and that's what he does. And then the snap throw. Kipnis again coming out of the box. And then you can see foot down, ball not there.
Get the lead runner at second base. Aviles out now. Kipnis on at first. 2 for 4 in the ball game tonight. Francisco Lindor.
Yeah, and he's gone up the middle off a chin, hitting this way, and then off of Brad Brock, he turned around because he is a switch hitter and hit a line drive in the left.
Came in 2 for 14 off lefties. Pitch will be taken for a strike.
Well, I'm just kind of wondering, and you won't do it if Zach Britton gets ahead, but because he does handle the bat, and you want to stay out of the double play, do you put the runner in motion?
Manny Machado's even with the bag at third. Big hole between first and second. 0-1 delivery to him. Jackknifes away, and a pitch that really was pretty close to being a strike.
Well, that's his guideline. There's the closer, Allen, and then McAllister is his 3rd time up.
Zebzinski is the pitcher of record now for the Indians. He gave up the run on 3 hits, no part of an inning. While O'Day worked an inning, a run, 1 hit, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Could be the winner. 1 ball, 1 strike, but a long way to go in this one, even though it's the 9th. There goes the bat. Look out.
Wow.
Caught on the fly. Whoa. He caught that thing on the fly.
Wow. How did he do that?
I don't know. Neither does he.
Well, take a look right here, and
One ball, 2 strike count. Caught somebody on the way by. 1-2. Lindor with Kipnis on at first and one out. We're in the ninth inning. Orioles up by one. Pitch on the way, runner not going, and it's outside. Orioles in one-run games are 10-11. Indians are 8-7. That's where we are, at least for the moment, in a one-run game.
Yeah, last year 96 wins. What were they? 32-23. Had one of those special years.
2-ball, 2-strike count. Runner not going. Swing and a miss on a pitch that was up at 96.
Yeah, you ask a lot of minor leaguers when they come to the big leagues, do you ever see this kind of stuff where you came from? And they go, nope, 96, it's up. We'd rather be down, but look at the velocity and the movement. Runs away. And we're kind of checking out on the center field diamond vision here at Camden Yards where that pitch was.
Fans are up, 2 away in the ninth. Won't be an easy third out. Brantley up, base hit. 1 for 4 in the ball game. He's 3 for 10 lifetime off Zach Britton.
And even the double play, he scorched it right at J.J. Hardy at shortstop.
Pitch will be outside for a ball. Bourne, the DH now, who hit for RABURN, will be in the next spot. There are the numbers against Zach Britton. What a ball game to open up this 3-game set against the Indians tonight. It has been a good one. 31,112. 1-0 pitch by Britton. Ground ball. Flaherty's got it. Ball game over. The Orioles win it. Fireworks night, and the Orioles got a little fireworks of their own. A 1-run victory. O'Day will get the win. Britton the save. Zepchinski will take the loss, and the Orioles take the first of 3 against Cleveland. The final, the Orioles 4, Cleveland 3.